show.
Hey, take it easy.
Take it easy, okay?
Hey, man.
You tell your moms.
You talk to your
Tell your
mother with
moms
that
I'm
mouth?
not going to forget about the sausages, okay?
You sausage.
She's got my fucking sausages at the house, okay?
Hey, you got a pack of sausage coming in.
Tell her I'm coming to see you next Wednesday, okay?
Yeah, you don't forget. You forget, I'm going to put your cojones in a box and
This
send them
fucking-
to your mother.
This fucking guy's paging me.
Oh,
He's
fuck.
paging me.
What does he want?
I think it's the CIA.
Hey, Frankie. Anybody want some Frankie?
Little Frank.
Little Frank?
Take a little Frank.
Want a little Frank?
Curious.
A Frankie Capone, you know. I mean, Coppola. God damn it.
Capone. That
I
sounds
heard he
better.
fucked it up.
Got a Frankie Capone up in this, you know.
There you go, Taylor.
Thank you.
I'll take a little splash.
Splash. Good. I need
A
the
little
rest.
wine in a checkers cup.
Yeah. Your wine tastes good out of a paper cup.
Oh yeah.
So as you guys might notice, Russell is fucking dripped out right now. Okay.
I went to the Foot Locker for the first time in my life. This is how I came out.
He is dripped out. He watched an old mob movie before he
Dude,
went.
I didn't watch. I was walking through the mall and I saw this on a clearance rack and I said, "That's my new style. That's my new personality." And then I proceeded to go find the rest of it at the mall.
Are you a big Nebraska fan?
No,
Smashes.
actually, yeah, it's the only red shirt I had. I had honestly, I didn't even know it was.
Aeropostale to get that one.
Yeah, I had to go to Stephen Barry's. Remember that motherfucker
Drove
in the
all the
mall?
way to Dave and Buster's to get that one.
Busters. Dude, Stephen Barry's in the mall. Remember that shit?
Yeah.
It was like $3 shirt. But dude, they had a whole area full of different T-shirts.
Yeah.
Like all the different colleges and stuff. I don't know how they got away with it. But no, I honestly I didn't even know this is a Nebraska college shirt. I collect when I go to a different state. I always get a shirt.
Yeah.
And I was on my way out of Nebraska, and I was like, "Fuck!" And they don't sell them in the WalMarts or whatever. So I saw this and an Iowa shirt like right next to each other for $5, and I picked them up, and I was like, "Oh, they're in cursive."
you bought both of them?
Yeah, for $10.
Nice.
Let me get situated here. Joke's kind of over now.
I just want to say while you're wearing all that,
Yeah.
you look like the guy that goes around in neighborhoods and steals people's home goods and then sells them
Well, like a porch
in
pirate.
the same
He'd
block.
call me a porch pilot.
Yeah, but like
Pirate?
a reseller too.
Oh.
Yeah, like you sell other people's shit like down the road
Okay.
for
To
a
them,
discounted
huh?
price, so you can buy more jumpsuits.
Dude, I'm telling you, they had this sweet one that was like the old Hornets. It was purple, blue, and yellow.
That'd have been sick.
It was pretty
How
sweet.
do you get that one?
Yeah,
Not $30.
Well, I saw the shoes, and I was like, oh, the shoes are perfect. The Adidas stripes. Let's see if I can. I got the overhead cam now, so.
Oh, you did get it in sick.
Yeah.
Oh, sick.
Fuck yeah.
So now everybody
That is
can
dope.
check out the overhead there.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
But, oh, crap, where are we at? There we are.
Where are we?
Oh, crap. We're just watching this overhead now, fellas. I guess it's Super Bowl, huh? That's
Yes.
probably what everybody's talking about.
Yeah,
Dude,
that is what everyone's talking about.
You guys peeved? You guys
Yeah.
fuming?
I was.
I'm not like, I don't know. It's hard to say like if I'm mad. I'm not mad. I wanted Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase and all those boys to win, but at the same time, like the Rams deserved it. So did the Bengals. But
Yeah.
you know, it's just like, of course, that was like the most. That like we were just talking on the way over. It's like that was one of the most clean games that they've had
up until the fourth quarter.
until the fourth quarter.
Yeah.
And then all the penalties just started fucking drawing in.
didn't
There was like 2 penalties the whole fucking game. And one wasn't even against a fucking player. It was against a dude that wasn't even like registered to play in the game. And he just
Rushville.
ran on the field.
Oh, I saw that. Yeah.
It's like,
Swamps
dude,
on.
and it's like, bro, I don't even count that as a penalty against the team.
right.
You know what
That's
I mean?
just a
But it's like,
dumbass, yeah.
that's just a dumbass. Like, yeah, he's a
Yeah.
player for the Bengals, but at the same time, it's like that's a dumbass penalty.
Yeah,
But-
I had a train come by about the last 5 minutes of the game, and when a train comes by, I don't get reception on my antenna. So I saw a pixelated every third second of the last 5 minutes of the Super Bowl.
No.
So I was just like trying to get a quick glimpse of the score to see what was happening. It was pretty rough.
You know, you have
I wish I
phone,
had.
right?
Oh, but yeah, well, that's
Yeah,
that's.
but it was across the room.
Hoping it was a short
What are you
train.
talking about? I got no phone.
I got a pager.
We got a pager, dude.
Dude, my thing with football is like, you just gotta let the players decide the game and not the officials decide the game. You know what I mean? In that fourth quarter, like 3 downs in a row, flags out of all of them.
And one was a detrimental flag.
Yeah.
Like
Game
the Bengals
changer.
stopped the Rams on 3rd down. They had to kick the fucking field goal. There's no way they were going for that because if they went for it, they lost.
Yeah.
So it's like at least they could get into a 4-point ball game, you know. But it's like, or just the Bengals win, you know. And it's one of those things where it's like that. It was a holding call that literally even the announcers were like, where, you know. It's like, and if it gets to that point. And they still don't go back and look at it. Like
clean all game, and they're not
and then
calling.
that's
there was
what
a lot
started
of, like,
it. That
there
was
a
the
lot
trend.
Of fights and shit I saw that like probably should have been called. Like,
Yeah.
it was a pretty
yeah.
aggressive game, and then all that was just kind of like, all right, boys will be boys, and then they kind of moved on.
But that's what started the trend was that 3rd down call, and that's what started everything.
You hate to
and
see it.
It's like then they gave the Rams another set of full downs, and then they ended up getting a touchdown because of it.
Yeah,
and
'cause
that was a complete game changer.
I watched. I left at the 3rd quarter, and then I came back over here, and I was like, all right, well, it seems like it's pretty much over.
Yeah, I mean
No.
nothing.
No, it was not.
Nothing happened in the 4th quarter until the last 2 minutes.
Yeah.
Damn.
And then all the fucking penalty calls are just like left and right, just like out of everywhere, you know. And I'm just like, well, that's when it became the NFL again. It's like, I mean, that's literally when it became the NFL again. I was like, this game is too clean, and there's not enough penalties. And then the 4th quarter, and then But like I said, I mean, hats off to the Rams. They deserved that. Aaron Donald, Jalen Ramsey, Matt Stafford definitely fucking deserved it.
How old is that guy?
Dude, he's
Who, Matt?
like
Yeah, was he 40?
probably 40, almost 40.
Close
Was he
to
Was he like bagging groceries before this?
No, basically he's playing for the fucking Detroit
playing for the
Lions.
Lions, yeah.
Ooh,
Yeah, I mean,
He's
dude, like,
doing part-time work on the docks.
and that's the shitty thing too is like he's always been a good quarterback since he got out of college. He was #1 pick in the
Dude, he
NFL.
got his foot wrapped up around that fat guy pretty good, too.
Yeah.
Yeah, he did.
I can't believe he got
Just
up
taped
and
the bitch back up.
Oh, yeah.
Just taped
Dude,
it
that's
up.
those old school guys, you know.
And that's
He
like-
knows he's not going to get another Super Bowl, too.
Yeah.
So it's like, tape it up. I'm going back out
Yeah,
there.
especially
with it in
it's,
the morning.
it's scary too
Yeah.
because if you're Matt Stafford and you have like one of the best defenses in the whole entire NFL, and you also have a very good offense. Well, you have OBJ that just goes out.
Right.
Yeah, that was
That
tough.
sucks.
Right.
I'm happy for OBJ because it's like, dude, Cleveland fucked him.
Yeah, they did.
100%.
He had a
Right.
great
Cleveland
first
did him
half,
dirty
too.
as fuck. But it's one of those things where it's like, looking at Matt Stafford going forward with the Rams, it's like, dude, Aaron Donald's talking about retirement. He said if he wins the Super Bowl, he's going to think about retirement.
Damn.
And at the same time, Andrew Whitworth, their left guard, he said if we win the Super Bowl, I'm retiring. So it's like one of your key offensive players that's guarding you is leaving.
Yeah.
So you have to replace that guy. And that dude's a fucking beast. That is a big, big man. And
Right.
then you have the best of the best, Aaron Donald, thinking about retirement. And he's
not
only
even
been in the league for 7 years, I
He-
think.
He's not that old either.
No.
I don't
Well, I
think.
mean, in fat people years, though, that's
He's not
He's-
even fat, dude. Aaron
No,
Donald's
he's
fucking huge.
Built like a
He's
brick.
supposed to be fat.
he looked like a big old ball of fun.
He's,
Not in a gay
like,
way, though.
He's supposed to be like
I said that real gay. I didn't mean it that way.
all those guys that are up front like that on a defensive line, like they're supposed to be fat. Aaron Donald, no.
Just a lean,
No,
mean,
that dude is just fucking
blocking machine.
ginormous. Like, but it's just it sucks because it's like, I mean, if there's any time that they could have done it, it was this.
Who am I
this
thinking
year.
of? He also had a funny last. Oh, he was on the Bengals. Had a funny last name.
Awuzie?
No. It was like Peoples or Doorway or. He was the line. He's the one that rolled over the quarterback's foot.
Oh.
Um,
What is his name?
I can't remember.
I can't remember his name either.
He
know
was a
you're
big
talking
boy.
about that,
That's
yeah.
who maybe I was thinking of.
Like I said, I mean, all those dudes that are on offensive line and defensive line, they're supposed to be fat as fuck.
Yeah,
And just, I mean, that's literally what they're supposed to be. Aaron Donald's like, no,
They're
bro, I'm,
a wall.
I'm built different.
dude, they're links in a chain of a wall.
Yeah,
Pretty
like,
sure
I'm
Aaron-
built different.
Aaron Donald ran the 40-40 twice, and his second time was like a 4.5.
It's a fast motherfucker.
Dude, you don't want him chasing you down
Being
in a
like
parking lot.
And that's the
6'6"
thing is like,
and
dude, like
280, running
watching
a
that guy
4.5.
play is just ridiculous. Like
Yeah.
he'll break through the right side of a line, and the quarterback, which is supposed to be way faster than any of them, cannot run from him.
No.
Being that big, and you have a quarterback that's 210 10 pounds.
Even being doubled all game long.
Yeah.
I mean, he broke through a lot
Multiple
of those.
times.
Yeah, a lot of those.
But it was a good game.
It was.
It was a good game. I was like I said, I'm happy for both teams, and I'm not mad at all.
I like that
the Rams
halftime
won.
show.
The halftime show I thought was Gucci. Like
Yeah,
that show was.
dude.
I haven't seen.
I was on my feet the whole time, dude. I have not been that excited for a halftime show in a long time.
I haven't been that excited for a halftime show since Bruno Mars did his, and Bruno Mars was
kills.
still better.
Yeah,
it was still better,
dude. You can't beat Bruno.
No,
Bruno,
like, and that
cocked
just
it up,
the way
baby.
that they did that halftime show is so fucking like it was perfect.
Oh,
Like-
dude, I was talking because I was over at Biz watching a little bit, and what little I did watch the game was a goddamn train. But it was, I was like, imagine like they grew up like right outside that fucking stadium in Compton, like
Yeah.
dirt poor, gangs and shit. If you would have convinced them that they would go back, like they could look forward in time and say, "Oh yeah, you're gonna actually play in a stadium,
Halftime
like
show.
a halftime show, and there's gonna be
of
graphics
thousands
of
of
you
people.
like surfing the top of the
Yeah.
stadium watching fireworks, and you're gonna come up on a giant soundboard." Like I'd be
50
like, "No,
Cent.
you're fucking out of your mind." I'm
Yeah,
50 Cent, you're going to be hanging
Yeah,
upside
dude,
down.
yeah. He's gonna be
in
a
front of
bat.
thousands of people,
Yeah.
and you're
There
going
was
to
no
absolutely
need for that.
murder a performance.
that was my that'd be my one beef with the whole performance was
I thought it
50 Cent
was
hanging upside down like a
different.
bat.
it was just different.
It was dumb.
Yeah.
What? Yeah, it was different. It was dumb.
Apparently, there was rumors of them having a hologram of Tupac, like with the performers.
Didn't they
on
do that a
stage.
couple years ago?
I thought they may have.
Because they did.
Or it was
it
Lollapalooza
wasn't
or something,
Yeah,
I
it was
think.
Lala. They did the Tupac thing.
Yeah. Okay.
But they should have done that too, especially because like they were talking about NWA and stuff like that. It'd
Yeah.
been cool to have like Easy and.
Well, dude, that's what I was
everyone,
wondering.
so
Like, how did 50 Cent fall into that?
I have no idea.
That's
Because
what I was
he's not
wondering.
from there.
That's what I was saying. I thought he was an East Coaster or
No,
a
he's
Detroit
from-
guy or
he's
something.
from New York.
I think it was just like a surprise kind of show because they didn't announce 50
Dude,
Cent.
he
It
looked
was
like
just,
he's been getting high on his own supply of champagne. He looked like
Oh,
he's put a little
yeah,
gut on, right?
yeah.
He
he was
put the
looking
weight on.
Yeah.
pudgy a little bit.
still-
That
I
white
still
beer was a
wouldn't
bad
fuck with
choice.
him.
No,
I
no,
still wouldn't
dude,
fuck with him.
No, dude.
Yeah, no.
No.
50's also built different.
Yeah.
That's Aaron Donald, bro.
Yeah, dude, he could have been out
Yeah.
there.
Could have been playing. But yeah, it's like I don't know where he came from, but I mean I'm glad he was there. I love
Yeah,
50 Cent.
dude. I mean, I don't understand why he just showed
Yeah.
up hanging from
Like,
the
you're
ceiling.
from New York, bro.
Yeah. That's what I was thinking. I was like, they got
Yeah.
the lowriders out front, and
Yep. It was cool.
Yeah, and then Eminem. I didn't like he did Lose Yourself, but whatever.
I think that was a hype move.
Yeah.
I mean, it's definitely a hype song
Like,
for sure.
yeah.
Imagine being a quarterback.
And
then hearing that, I'd have sat
Oh,
there
I
with my
got-
fucking headphones
Yeah.
on.
I was sitting there in the recliner
Dumping that
getting
bitch.
chills. You know what I mean? I was like, this is hyping me
I
up.
was sitting there getting
Yeah, like
pumped.
going back to try to win this football game.
Yeah.
Like, and you're listening,
Oh,
to that,
yeah.
I'd be like, oh shit, let's
About
go.
to lose
Let's
myself.
go. Yeah,
That was awesome though. It was definitely one of the better ones I've seen in a while.
I think so too.
The sound was a little weird though, but I think it's always a little weird in the Super Bowl.
Yeah. It's hard to get good audio.
I couldn't hear like a lot of the vocals and stuff, and
Yes.
stuff was off. I know it's all lip synced and faked anyway, just because you don't have the time to hook up all that shit.
Yeah.
You just gotta play it over the loudspeakers and go. You have a hard enough time. Like I have a hard enough time setting this shit up like in
Yeah.
30 minutes. Imagine like
rolling
they-
out a whole
5
entire
minutes.
Yeah,
stage,
exactly.
cars.
So it's typically always faked. You know, Chili Peppers fuck that. Well, they didn't fuck. I think they did it on purpose. Like, speaking of which, going to see Chili Peppers because John Frusciante's back, guitar player. The original, well, not the original, but the best guitar player for the Chili Peppers. I'm going to see him in Philadelphia.
Fuck.
I'm going to the City Brother Love, which I've been obsessed with for a long time now.
We were just talking about Philly last episode.
Dude, I'm telling you, dude. I saw that they were there. I was like, 2 tickets, let's go. So I got tickets. We're going out there. We're gonna probably catch a Birds game or a Flyers game on Sunday. Just 'cause I want to really indulge myself in the Philly lifestyle.
Experience,
I'm gonna spend a night just sitting on a curb at a Wawa. Like I want the full trash experience
Munch on
of
a
Philadelphia.
Philly cheese
Yeah,
steak
yeah.
On,
get a
on
Philly.
top of a trash can.
on top of a trash.
Oh, you know,
Like
alley.
put the Philly on top of a trash can.
Oh,
and eat off
yeah,
of
yeah,
it.
yeah.
I mean, that's how you get the full Philly
Yeah.
experience.
Oh, I
That's
can't
the real
wait.
deal.
Oh, dude, I'm so excited.
It's gonna be fun.
Yeah, what's going on, dude?
What's going
You wanna
on?
go down there and get a go down there and get a hoagie? Oh man, and I deliberately chose really bad seats up towards the top where I could commingle with the locals. You know, I'm really looking forward to it. It's gonna be a good time. That's in September. But
Are the Flyers in town
I don't know. I don't know enough about it. I just know that I either want to see some rowdy hockey because the Chili Peppers are playing at Phillies Field, whatever that is, and then I'm like, all right, so I'll knock that one off the list. And it's September 3rd, so it's pretty iffy in any of this, but
Yeah.
I'm hoping for just a good old fashioned, go to the link, watch the birds. I'm getting a Donovan McNabb jersey.
Go on Macari.
Oh yeah, no, it's got to be McNabb, and I'm gonna
No,
carry.
I'm just saying, go on Macari, the app.
Oh, I thought that was the name of a lineman or something. Go on
I
Macari.
guarantee you can find it for like $20.
I want that. I'm gonna take some Campbell's chunky soup.
Oh man, I've never been to Philly before, but
Me too.
I've never been. I just recently been so obsessed with the trash culture there. I listen to a lot of Philly comedians and they just talk about how just ridiculous Philly is. So I'm pretty excited about that.
What size shirt do you wear? Small?
No, this is actually a medium and it's way too small. I put on weight
So
like
large.
50, probably an XL.
an XL.
No, because
large.
jerseys run big.
Yeah, all right, large. I've never had a jersey.
Dude, $9.
before. $9?
No way.
Oh yeah.
Damn.
No, all right. I spent way too much on impulse buys. Even $9 is pushing it. This.
Dude, this thing's sick.
Damn, that is awesome.
I'm telling you, go to Macari.
How much for shoulder pads?
I don't think they have those.
Oh shit.
You gotta get some Christmas crack, bro.
Yeah. So what's this?
So honestly, a few ingredients that I do know that are in here are like white
Dude,
cheddar.
you didn't make this?
No, yeah, my mom
Mom
made it.
does.
Oh,
Mom made it,
okay.
yeah.
I'm not really sure, but
And it's got white cheddar, white chocolate, obviously sugar, and I don't even know how she makes these, but they're addictive. Yeah.
it's what? That is weird.
I don't know.
It's got like a popcorn,
Yeah.
icing, but it's not.
I'm pretty sure it is popcorn, but something.
Yeah, I don't know.
I'm iffy.
I just eat it.
I think those are those packing peanuts.
It might be.
The fudge you do. All right, grab all the shit. Let's go.
So
Damn.
Brandon, I think we need to dip into I got to ask a big question here.
Oh God, here we
What's
go.
that?
Russell, how do you feel about crypto?
Oh,
I saw Larry David's commercial today, and I'm all in now.
dude, there was 6 different crypto.
Yeah, you know how they
/
paid for all those ads? Yeah, crypto. I bet.
I heard it was $7 million per
Dude,
commercial.
I was wondering how much it would take for Larry David to come out and do that commercial, because he's not a kind of guy that sells shit or is interested in that whatsoever.
Yeah.
And he came out and he did 8 costume changes, and I that one was fucking awesome. So
So you're all in now.
I'm all in now. I'm a fly by the wing kind of guy. So I don't know. Ask me tomorrow. Might have a different story, but tonight, all in.
Brandon's all in on crypto.
Yeah.
I'm kind of all in.
Yeah.
You're in on the blockchain and the wallets.
The
And
blockchains and the wallets. I've got multiple of them, and I don't know. I'm just kind of, in my mind, it's a little better than hitting a slot machine or putting 100 on blackjack. But
Sure.
I've done the research. Not as obviously every day is a new task, new due diligence I have to do.
You ever
But
consider making your own cryptocurrency?
that would be cool. I just don't know how I'd fund it. I don't know what
With
the
cryptocurrency.
Yeah, with cryptocurrency.
Bitcoin.
Well, yeah. I mean,
I have no idea how any of this works, so I'm always all ears. But from what I understand, it's a bunch of crap. So I don't understand it. It seems pretty legit. I mean, it's always got value.
right after saying it's a bunch of crap.
Yeah. No, I'm going to say that a lot. So just
I got you.
put a pin in that. It seems. I mean,
Basically,
it's like even that. Wine shit, dude. Anything has fucking value if you
Right.
assign value to it. So it's no different than anything else.
one of the main things that I've learned from getting into crypto, especially, is that what holds a lot of value is being able to transfer and exchange money from any points of the world without having that middleman. So instantaneous, wire transfers, for example, or just being able to support an economy at that level of technology of, the blockchains that's constantly developing. It makes it a lot easier, but you're having to pay all these gas fees which are just fees that every transaction has to pay to like keep the network running. And so instead of having to go through a middleman like a bank and have to go through all the paperwork and file for loans and all this shit, you can completely avoid that and just be like, hey, where's, give me your wallet address, send you 5 SOL, and boom, it's done.
I've heard of a lot of people are starting to fund like movies and stuff based off of just crypto.
Really? I didn't know that. That's
Yeah, I forget what I think it was Tim Dillon was talking about it, and it was more than just funding movies, but it was pretty interesting. What about all that like digital real estate and shit?
Oh man, so that's
I figured you knew.
basically it all kind of ties into like NFTs in a way, because I mean,
Right.
it's essentially like, for example, on one of the main marketplaces that I search for NFTs on, it's a Solana marketplace. It's called Magic Eden. And there's a bunch of different collections right now that are like representing luxury style real estate, anywhere from like penthouses to mansions to like, I don't know, city apartments or anything. And it's all virtual, right? It gives you a detailed like description of all the attributes of like the piece of real estate that you're buying. But it's all still in its youth. And so it's like developing, as the metaverse kind of develops, it's all kind of.
I was wondering if that was part of it.
Oh, definitely. Because as soon as you're able, if I go on there and buy a penthouse suite, right, I can't enjoy it unless like there's an active metaverse that's happening with that I can put on the goggles and put on my gloves and go spin
and immerse yourself.
Yeah, because it's all the experience. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Sounds like a bunch of crap.
Yeah, I mean I don't know.
Brandon's because he hasn't been doing it for that long. But
How much have you lost so far?
I haven't lost any.
How much have you made?
About $700.
Okay.
So far, like as of today, but as of 5 days ago, I was up 13.
Damn.
So
very volatile.
It is very volatile. But
that's the thing is like I don't get into it. But the thing is like the one thing I'll say about him is like he's at least doing the research where other people just don't, and then they invest in shit and they're like, oh, the crypto the crypto market's fucking dog shit because they invest in the wrong things. It's like he's doing the research and he's doing all these things, but it's like I'm still not going to do it. I like to keep my money green.
I hate gambling. I mean,
I love gambling.
Let's
get that fucking straight right now. Listen here, boss.
Everyone watching, this is not financial advice.
What's the
Go to the
VIG?
fucking casino, okay?
Hey, what the VIG? What's the VIG, dude? You tell me the
Go
VIG.
to the
I
casino,
tell you what.
I press the
kiss
fucking
my
buttons.
ass.
It turns red. I love it. Okay.
Yeah.
No, I love gambling, but crypto is like it's one of those things where it's like like a lot of people have made a shit ton of money from it, but at the same time, a lot of people have lost a shit ton of money from it.
Yeah.
So it's like in reality, it's like going to the casino in multiple different ways because it's 50-50, right? You're going to either be a Brandon or you're going to be like a guy that would probably be me. That would just lose my fucking ass as soon as I went into it.
Sure.
Because I would invest in the wrong things.
So how does crypto stand up to inflation? Because I know it's unregulated and it shouldn't be based on the dollar value. But when you're buying with dollars, when you're buying with like a U.S. dollar, it is still going to have some kind of effect.
So like basically when you really get into cryptos and you have like multiple wallets and you're having to transfer cryptos from one to another, in order to like really withdraw all that, you have to put it into an actual backed like secured coin. If that makes sense. So like there's a coin.
One of the major coins?
Not one of the major coins, but it's like one of the coins that actually represents the value of $1 right now. And
which would be?
I know the ticker symbol. It's called USDT, and I'm not sure like what the full name is.
So if you want to cash it out, you've got to trade in what you have into a separate coin. Now, does that coin have a certain value? Because what if that coin wasn't worth shit and then you just dumped all your money into this coin so that you could cash it out?
Theoretically, the entire crypto market could go to zero. Like it could all crash and go to zero.
Does that scare you?
Oh yeah, absolutely. But at the same
shit, Russell.
Yeah, I mean, but at the same time, not really, because you got to think one of my favorite guys that I like to listen to,
Gary V.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah,
Is it really?
You nailed it. Well, the one thing.
No,
that he
bullshit.
said,
Really?
Yes. Gary Vaynerchuk. Yeah.
All right.
And you can say what you want about Gary, but one thing
content's king, dude.
For real, content is king,
Dude,
and that
really
man
cool.
pushes it, bro. Like, oh man, it's crazy. But one thing he said that kind of sparked something in my mind was that, like back in early the 90s and early 2000s, and like when the internet was becoming a thing, you can search up on the internet right now and find hundreds of articles stating that the internet is a fad. And this next thing is going to be kind of a joke. And, I can't believe anybody that's actually spending their money on trying to build a website and sell something, virtually. Like that idea was not even tangible to the average person back then.
Right.
But, now.
Well, but before that, you had the .com bubble, which was a bunch of people super interested in this, making a shit ton of money, and then that bubble burst. And so theoretically, Bitcoin and cryptos are kind of right there at that point. So now, granted, once once the bubbles burst, then it can rebuild based off of what it is. But
crypto does that like every day.
That's a good point. Yeah,
and it might not be in like the things that he invests in, but I like the crypto market as a whole. It does that every day. Like one part of a cryptocurrency is going to take a hit every single day, but one might skyrocket. It's like, and that's just kind of the crazy thing about it. And that's why it's like, you just have to invest in like, the NFT that he was, invested
You got NFTs? Mm-hmm. What do you got? You got like a little frog or?
So I've got one right now. It's called the Gore Cat.
God, I hate you.
So it's a little.
What the hell is this thing?
Just listen, it's a pixelated picture of a cat. And he's got blood all over him. He's got gore all over him. And mine specifically has a beanie. And he's got some high top J's on. And he's got this cool little hoodie. And he's sitting there, and the background of like the picture is like an orange pinstripe. So it makes it a little bit more rare than your typical Gore Cat. And that's where all the money's at in it.
What do you pay for this junk?
So I actually was following this project up until the initial release of the collection. So I was on my laptop spamming the click button as soon as this thing dropped.
It's for real.
For real, yeah. Because they're dropping, the initial cost to buy it was 0.99, so basically one SOL. And at the time, SOL was about like, I think $103, $104 per share. And so I was wanting to mint one at that price because I knew that all of the high
mint a SOL, or they mint the NFT.
NFT.
Okay.
So yeah, like the process of like creating that and like establishing
like minting a coin.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. Okay. So that's like the term that they use for like minting that collection or minting your own. Because at that point,
because they make one and that's it of that particular one, or however many of a set, or
there's all different sets have different like numbers at different,
just
quantity.
Like art, how they have different prints, essentially.
Yeah. And so in this collection, there was 1,111 of them, and that's relatively low compared to a lot of NFT collections, like super popular ones like Bored Ape Yacht Club that has like 10,000 of them. Others have 12,000, or even like, random 7,000 or 6,666, whatever it may be. Mm-hmm. But since there was a low amount of this one, and I had been following it, kind of following.
From inception, kind of?
What's up?
From like inception, like from when they started?
Yes. Okay. Yeah.
So ground level.
Yeah, ground level. I was following the developers of it. It's like Studio NX. I think they've actually had a couple Emmy awards due to their like.
For what?
Their
For what?
like animated series, I believe.
Okay, so these are the artists. This particular group is a group of artists that actually do work for animators and stuff, and they've gone off and created their own
NFT.
Individual. Okay, so that gives it a little bit of validity,
right? And the reason why I purchased this one is because, and for anyone listening that is even considering the idea of purchasing an NFT, what you want to look for is the utility of it. Because obviously, like the swag portion of it, that's a big part. Like buying into a really expensive collection and saying that I own this, that's a big part for a lot of people.
Sure.
But now,
I thought that was the entire thing. I'm going to be honest with you.
Oh, it definitely was at the start. And like this whole thing, crypto, NFT, DeFi, all of it, it's in its youth. Yeah. And so now, like what the next kind of thing is now is, why should I buy this even though I can just tell everyone that I own it? Like, yeah, that's cool, but what can I do with it? So with this, and everyone has different interests, but me specifically behind this collection is a storyline, like a chronological comic storyline.
You have to buy the storyline?
No. So buying the NFT gets you access to it, right? And so it gives you access to like a comic series with these Gore Cats. It also gives you access to future collections dropped by the same studio, essentially giving you opportunities to make more money with one NFT that you bought in with. And
So
then a bunch
it's
of other stuff.
almost like a certificate of or like a
Authenticity.
authenticity. Yeah,
it's-
like
the best way I
it's-
can describe it is like a club VIP membership, right? Because you know there's clubs in big cities that you
So that all of this, when you buy it, comes with the the NFT that you bought. It all comes with it. There's no like extra like, oh, and by the way, you can add this and add this and add this to it.
no. So the one that you get is that's it.
No like add-ons or anything like
No,
that.
yeah. So all of the features like the hoodie and the high tops and the beanie and the gore and even the background, everything. That's all predetermined when you mint it. So it's just a random selection of all the different options that you could get,
Yeah.
and boom, randomized. That's what you get, and based on what you get and how rare it is, that's going to determine. how much
Is
money you make.
is counterfeit a big problem?
Not at all, actually, and that's
And how do they fight that?
Well, so with the blockchain technology, basically what I can do is, because that's kind of the whole joke with, you know, because my roommate came into my room as soon as I bought it and he took a picture of it and he's like, oh,
Right.
now it's mine. And I'm like, oh my God, you got
Fuck
me.
you, Joe.
Yeah.
Dude, why would
Fuck
you do
you,
that
Joe.
to me?
But at the beginning, that was like a serious issue. And to a lot of people that aren't like super informed and haven't been doing like research, that's still an issue with them. You know, how do you verify what you own? How do you authentize it or whatever?
Yeah. I think that's a big part for anybody.
So you can go on whatever blockchain that you're on, whether it's like Ethereum or Solana or whatever it is. For this example, it's on Solana. I can go on SolScan and I can go on the blockchain and look up my transaction ID, and I can pull up not only my transaction but every single transaction that's ever been made on the Sol
like a
blockchain.
Carfax.
Yeah, literally like a Carfax, like a very upgraded version of Carfax. So like you hear on, you know, social media that Wiz Khalifa or, for example, Ozzy Osbourne dropping his own NFT collection or whatever, these big Justin Bieber buying a Bored Ape. I can go on there, and if I knew his transaction ID somehow, I could look that up and find how he bought it, who he bought it from, how much, you know what I mean? So it's all like verified.
So is that part of when you sell it, you can prove its chain of custody, I guess, essentially.
So what's built into every single like transaction is something called a smart contract, and basically within that,
Boy, this keeps getting deeper and deeper.
I know it's crazy, and like
I'm asking enough questions to really muddy the
Dude,
water.
it's like buying a human.
Oh, wait,
Well,
what?
Like it is. It's like you have a birth certificate and like all sorts of shit.
Yeah, well, your papers.
Yeah, like you got to get your papers.
I mean, it's like kind of buying it's like having a kid. You know, you
Yeah.
got to check up on it. You got to
gotta
feed it
feed
a little
it.
bit. You know,
Yeah,
you got to make
watch
sure
them
that
grow.
it's doing okay. You know?
Watch it grow.
So
or
okay,
not.
so do you just get to choose whatever blockchain you want this to go onto, and can you cross? Let's say you get on this, somebody buys it and they want it on Ethereum.
Yeah.
Can you cross them?
So it's a great question. So yes, you can absolutely. So with basically when you're buying an NFT, you gotta like predetermine what blockchain you want to be on and what you want to purchase it with.
And that's just personal preference, or
yeah, I mean, yeah, I guess, but like for obviously if you want to make as much money and save as much money, you want to avoid gas fees, which I was telling you earlier.
Right.
Everyone has to pay gas fees.
what is that? Is it an acronym? GAS or just they're
it's
gassing
just
you?
it's just a term that they put on it. It's
Stupid. I don't like it. They should change it.
It's like shipping.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like this
Shipping.
Shipping, a
costs.
processing fee.
Literally, exactly.
crap.
Yeah, it's a processing fee.
Who do I need
And
to talk to about this? Who's the manager of the blockchain?
you gotta, I don't know his name.
Dude, is
but-
that
I'm not
guy
paying
that
for your fucking
is that little
gas.
is that little QAnon guy? You ever-
Just drop 10 grand on a fucking a thing.
What's
Not paying your
who's who does
goddamn
it?
gas.
Yeah, I'm not paying
Fuck
fucking
you.
gas.
it's
Give me my
interesting,
damn
man.
NFT.
Like,
Well, it's such a new. I mean, it seems to me like a real Wild West. Like,
Absolutely. It
people can make and break rules.
Mm-hmm.
It seems just as easy as anything else,
I
because
would
there's no
say-
set.
no,
I mean,
no
there-
set parameters.
yeah.
It's
It's
called,
totally unregulated.
It's called
essentially.
decentralized for a reason.
Right,
You know
right,
what I
right. And
mean?
I think that was the allure of Bitcoin originally, was the decentralization.
Mm-hmm.
Now get into because I kind of know the mining aspect. Are all cryptocurrencies mined, or is that just Bitcoin?
So
and some
I think
others?
that's just Bitcoin for the most
'Cause
part.
I know that's just like a finite amount of Bitcoin.
You know,
but I
don't-
think that's bullshit because it seems like as many as it just takes. I mean, as many as computers as you can get and as much energy. It's like Venezuela sitting there with fucking gymnasiums full of mining shit. I mean,
So every crypto has like a set amount of quantity that's like released like in the market. And so Bitcoin is pretty low, like comparatively to a lot of others. I think there's only like 21.3 something like that in circulation right now, million Bitcoin. And compared to like a coin like Shiba, that's got initially when it dropped, it had 1 quadrillion.
that's annoying.
Yeah.
Fuck them.
one quadrillion. And right now, I think there is like a little bit above. I think it's like 550 something trillion in circulation right now. And
So
it's
is that
very,
what
very
creates
cheap.
Bitcoin's value? Is the limited amount, or are there other coins that have less than that even?
Yeah, I mean, I would say there's a lot of reasons.
Well, I guess it's also the face of crypto. So
Yes.
there's value in that.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Um,
And that's why Ethereum's kind of blowing up. Because it's like the
Well,
the runner-up.
Ethereum. When people explain Ethereum, because that always made the most sense to me. When that was explained to me, I was like, oh, okay. Well, now I kind of get the whole thing.
So Ethereum is it's its own blockchain, right? It's different than
Right.
Bitcoin. It's
Yeah,
I mean it's a
exactly.
crypto, but what makes Ethereum special is it allows a lot it's like a platform for a lot of different just things in general. Like just like you said, it's so in its youth that there's so much room for growth and
Sure.
and kind of just projection into the future with all sorts like decentralized finance and NFTs now becoming a thing. And Ethereum's the main, platform for all of that. And to answer your question earlier, like the reason why people are kind of transitioning into Solana and other competitors of Ethereum is because there's so many people on ETH right now, and there's so much traffic, there's so much congestion raising those gas fees. You know what I mean? So people have to pay
Right.
more to, sell or buy.
Now, is that just something that Ethereum generates, like a gas fee? Or is
I
by
believe
based
all
off
of
of
them do.
popularity, and they can raise and lower that price as they want?
Yeah, I think all of it's like that idea, but it's all of them as well. So all the blockchains are subject to gas fees. Like the only reason why they are running is because the people that are on them like transact, like the volume of whatever crypto that you're going through is keeping it alive, pretty much.
So
From my understanding, I don't know everything, but
no,
I'm learning.
you're the expert here.
Yeah.
So I guess my question would be is who is making who's collecting all these gas fees? So obviously it's Ethereum, but is there a CEO of Ethereum?
So yeah, there is, but I don't really know. That's a good question. I don't know how that works. I'm assuming that the gas fees go back into.
Joe Biden.
Yeah.
Dude,
Fucking Sleepy Joe. I
Joe
knew.
Biden couldn't tell me what he had for breakfast. Let
Ain't
alone-
that the truth?
But he
I'm
does
just
know that
kidding.
all you guys are buying into crypto, and he's like, gas fees.
Yes. Yeah.
He's
He's
charging
like,
us all gas
dude,
anyways.
he's all
Fuck.
the gas already. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
shit.
He's like, I gotta,
Milking us for gas prices right now.
Hey, you're buying gas expensive now? All right, well,
just
all your
waiting on 'em.
imaginary money, yeah, I'm charging the hell out of your mystery coins.
It's Joe Biden for sure.
Yeah,
or
he's
Hillary.
behind it.
Hillary's
Did
probably.
you
got
guys
something
hear
to do with
that that Pete Davidson used to fuck Hillary Clinton? Kanye said it
What?
today. Yeah.
like factual or
Yeah,
was
well,
this just
Something Kanye
something
said
Kanye
today.
said because Kanye also said that he was going to.
Run for president.
No, he said he was going
I would
to
have voted for him.
take or save the world, and then take over it.
Was this the Rogan thing?
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah. I
Which
got
is amazing.
so lost. I got
because then
so
Joe was
lost
like,
in that.
"Well, if you
yeah.
save the world, then you would already own it."
It was
And then it was like this rant, like,
Just trying to wrap your head
Yeah,
around
yeah,
the whole
he's
idea.
just-
Like,
huh?
just,
and
Yeah,
Kanye was just like,
yeah. No, he's really having it out for
"Dude's a
Pete.
fucking idiot."
And
I don't know how it happened either. I really don't. I don't know how the fuck Kanye got to the point that he's at right now. It's the Kardashians. It had to be.
it had to be.
They
Because
fucking
Kanye-
poisoned- they
Oh,
turned that one Olympian into a woman. That's what's going on
And
here.
that's where the seed came
the
from.
power.
Yeah, like,
That's
dude,
the
that,
Power of the Kardashians and their Wiccan ways.
yeah. Because, like, Kanye used to be, like, an amazing rapper. And
Dude, his last
he was
album
fucking
was
awesome.
I liked it.
Dude,
Dude, maybe not the whole
I haven't
album.
liked Kanye since Jesus Walks.
He's got some good stuff. That
Like,
one
honest.
that one he did in that room or whatever.
And
Pretty good.
Good Life. Good Life was another Kanye.
Life.
Pretty
That was
good.
after Jesus Walks.
He
but
had some good stuff. He still got music, but
what the fuck is he now?
Personally, he's out of like in his personal life. He's like saying Pete Davidson had his AIDS.
Yeah,
Like,
it's just because he's fucking. He's fucking what's her face?
Kim, yeah.
Yeah, he's fucking Kim.
now he's fucking a Kim Kardashian lookalike. Like did you see that?
Oh, Kanye. Yeah,
Kanye?
I saw that. And I think she
Yeah.
went to social media and went on Instagram Live and like
Yeah.
was like trying to exit herself out of the situation because Kanye probably just blew it all up, and I feel bad. Like,
Oh, I don't. This is a treat. This is what you get. this is Hollywood. You know.
yeah,
It's like Kanye. I was confused about Kanye whenever he started dropping like his shoes that were at least $1,000.
Dude, those things
And-
stink.
People bought them.
Yeah,
Those little
dude.
styrofoam
People still buy 'em.
slippers.
People still buy them. And it's just retarded. I'm like, man, like, what, whatever,
Dude,
But
I
at
know
the same
people who
time,
can
it's
barely
like,
pay rent that will
Yeah.
buy those things.
Yeah.
Literally.
yeah.
and like, and now it's like, dude, so it's kind of like I think it's like the Jim Carrey thing, right? So Jim Carrey used to just be this awesome actor, and
Sure, yeah.
everyone fucking loved him. And
Typecast.
then now, but Jim Carrey is at least like reasonable, right?
Smart
I mean,
guy.
what he's saying is like actually like real shit.
He had that great commencement speech. You guys have seen
Yeah,
that? That was
I've seen that.
Very
I didn't see
smart.
that.
Very
And it's
smart.
like, dude, but Kanye did the same thing. It's like all of a sudden he was this. He was like one of the best rappers alive, and then all of a sudden it just went to like whatever the fuck he is now.
yeah.
The same thing happened with Jim Carrey, but Jim Carrey just like got real with the world.
Yeah, I think.
And like
yeah.
all those are like, I would say most of them are like factual things that Jim Carrey is saying.
Sometimes I wonder.
Kanye's just making shit up.
Yeah, Kanye literally lives in his own world.
Oh, he does, 100%.
absolutely.
He is
Absolutely.
creating his own blockchain.
serving his own gas fee.
Dude.
As a matter
Yeah.
of fact, the gas fees might be going to Kanye.
Dude, I bet they are. Kanye's the mastermind behind this whole thing.
Probably. I mean,
Like,
like,
we're gonna wake up one day, Kanye's gonna be running off with a bag.
He actually
you know?
will be the president.
Yeah,
2024.
And everything's fucked.
I own all your money. Dude, how pissed would you be if all your money NFTs went to Kanye? All this
I
thing you put
wouldn't
in,
invest.
Kanye was like, I don't believe in this anymore.
I
I'll
wouldn't
take it.
invest.
Yeah.
No way.
I invest in gold. 1-800 Gold Line is our sponsor for this hour.
I'm in a gold rush.
Yeah.
It's like, I mean, I don't know. I don't know. It's just like kind of like the way that the world works now. It's like people like will randomly be like this one person, and all of a sudden it'll change. Like just out of nowhere. It's like, I mean, we all make decisions and we do different things and stuff like that. But it's like you got to wonder, like, this is completely outside of your realm, Russell. But
Oh, yeah.
have
Yeah,
you
no.
wondered? Have you wondered yet?
I'll just zoom
about,
myself
like,
in.
where ASAP Rocky went.
I mean,
When was the last time you heard anything
Psyop.
from ASAP Rocky?
it's been a long time.
'Cause the same thing
He's
with
a
him. He was
gulag.
one of the best rappers in the game,
Yeah.
and then all of a sudden,
Didn't he go to the gulag? Or who was the one that Trump pardoned got out?
Oh, that was Kodak.
yeah, Kodak.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
Kodak.
Not the same
And he
guy.
actually got shot today.
Yeah, he got
Oh,
shot.
yeah. Okay,
got
that's why
shot today.
that's fresh on the mind.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But no, I haven't.
exactly.
It's
It's one of those things where it's like, dude, like I love ASAP Rocky, and I'm like, where the fuck is he
I'm a
at?
big fan, yeah.
And he dropped some song the other day, finally, after 3 years of no content, zero, none,
Really?
zero.
Is it good?
No, it was horrible. It was absolutely horrible.
Did they suck all his
Dimitri
talent out?
actually sent it to me.
Did it get like the
He sent it to me. He's like, ASAP's not dead. And I was like,
Yeah,
oh,
he is.
shit. So I fucking
Yeah,
I went on
he is.
Spotify and I listened to it, and it was absolutely garbage.
It's weird.
Like,
Why do you think that is?
I don't know. And I know that, I
Sucked
mean,
his
him and
soul
Rihanna
out.
are fucking, making babies and shit.
Who's Mariana?
Rihanna.
Trench?
Rihanna.
Rihanna.
Oh, sorry, I was way up.
Him-
Mariana
her and
Trench.
ASAP Rocky are making babies,
Wow.
Yeah,
which
Good
is
for
awesome.
them.
it was pretty dope. That kid's
Rihanna's
gonna come out.
Rihanna's a
looking
queen.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Yeah, Rihanna's a queen.
Yeah, she's a nice lady. She ever own a McDonald's meal yet?
Probably.
Oh, I'm sure.
Travis Scott does.
Travis Scott,
Yeah.
Sweetie, or
What's that
whatever.
with the sweetie a Big Mac meal?
Yeah, with
And
the
then-
chicken nuggets on the
Yeah,
side.
yeah. You go, and then Popeyes got the Meg Thee Stallion
That's
meal.
the fucked up thing. People pay for that shit.
I know. Dude,
People buy that shit at McDonald's.
I-
It's the same fucking thing as a number 2, bro.
I accidentally
Get the
bought.
fuck outta here.
I actually bought a Mr.
fuck
Beast
outta
burger
here.
the other day.
Did you really?
Yeah, it sucked. It sucked so bad.
thing
They're made
about-
out of the back of a Ruby Tuesdays. You know that?
Yeah, well, it's called the Ghost Kitchens.
That's
the
a big
idea.
deal now. I think
Yeah.
we kind of, I was talking to somebody about it Ghost kitchens are why. Hey, have you considered opening a ghost kitchen?
No.
All right, you're lost.
I have
Dude,
a
you
real
would
one
be-
to run.
You could run that on the blockchain, dude.
Oh, dude, you would take.
You can run a ghost kitchen on the blockchain.
I personally think that you would be highly successful in a ghost kitchen.
What does that even mean?
So basically, like how the Mr. Beast burgers like operate is it's not. I mean, it's not Mr. Beast going around and
the dickhead downtown?
yeah, or
That
what?
dude fucking sucks.
Yeah.
Who? Wait.
Beast Burger.
That's not a location though.
Is there is a location downtown?
Yeah, he has
got
a
a- he's got a
location
brick and mortar?
downtown.
That's bull crap.
He does. And it's horrible.
Mr. Beast.
Yeah, yes, dude.
As far as I'm
Downtown.
concerned,
No, it was extremely bad.
it's like
I
Yeah, it
thought
was
that was
horrible.
running out of a back of
I've
Ruby
heard
Tuesday.
I've heard zero good things about it. He has a little thing downtown.
I wouldn't be surprised if it was ran out of the back of Ruby Tuesday.
Dude,
I
no,
wouldn't either.
this
Because
definitely.
Ruby Tuesdays is shit too.
This definitely.
I used
when
to
I
love
ran
Ruby
it, I did too.
Fuck,
My
that place
parents
is
went there for
horrible.
their anniversaries. I loved it.
My parents used to go there too, and I'm like, dude, why the fuck do we keep coming back? here?
I
and
honestly,
I was like 8, and
honestly,
I knew better.
I went there a lot because it was the only bar in the mall. Oh man! And I go get drunk
that's
and then
right.
go to the mall, but that's beside the point. No, I swear it because when I ordered this Beast Burger, it was over there that North Side Glenstone
Ruby Tuesdays.
Ruby Tuesdays, yeah, because that's where it came. I saw it get picked up there and brought over.
So it's a ghost kitchen basically where you just no one's
So,
supposed to know
okay.
who you are.
Let me
And you cook
propose
in
to
someone
you-
else's kitchen
No.
and,
Let me
like, sell your own
propose
little
to
thing.
you. Let's say I want a General Media burger. All right, I need to find a place that can cook that burger, and I'm going to put a profile up on Uber Eats. I make the profile. The orders get sent to your restaurant. You make the orders. They're picked up and sent. That's a ghost kitchen. So General Media burgers coming out of Bruno's.
So you have nothing to do with it. You're just like
You're like a middleman.
You
You're
as a
literally
person,
a
you as the
middleman.
person
Exactly.
that
Yeah,
is
yeah.
making this idea has nothing to do with it.
Yep. There's
so you're
tons
making
of them.
someone else cook for you.
Go on Uber Eats right. I could probably find a bunch of them right now.
It's crazy.
They're all over, and there's some that are like John's Fish Shack or something. It's just like Hooters, or let me look them up here. I'll show you. And there's all of them. And a lot of times too, big restaurants will have smaller. They'll make different restaurant names. And they just all come out of the same kitchen. So it tricks you into thinking it's a different restaurant in town. You order it from there, but it's all coming from the same
Yeah,
place.
same ingredients, same recipes. And
So is it like you only sell like one thing?
I mean, you have a limited menu.
yeah, very limited menu. But I mean, as far as just assuming how this operates, like whoever is in charge of supplying the product for the person that runs this ghost kitchen to cook the meals and like run it to the people. Like I'm assuming that's how it works.
They have to.
Yeah, I mean that's
Yeah,
Unless
I mean, you
they
have
order
to
this
work
shit
with
for you.
them.
Unless you like contact a kitchen manager, owner of a business, and you're like, hey, I want to do a ghost kitchen out of your restaurant. Will you order me this type of beef with these buns and whatever? And then, but at the same time, it's like, I mean, yeah, of course, like you're gonna have to pay those people for that.
yeah.
Because
yeah.
no one in their fucking right mind is going to be like, yeah, man, let me order all this shit for you to maybe let it sit here because I sell fucking chicken wings and you're trying to get us to sell fucking Italian food.
yeah.
Like, it's just going to sit here. Like, and we're not allowed to sell it on our regular menu. It has to be on the ghost menu. So it's like, I mean, I don't know. I don't know how that-
It's very odd, and honestly, I'm not seeing as many as there used to be. But like Wiz Khalifa, I remember had one.
That's right.
he has his downtown too.
Okay,
And I
so
heard it's
I heard that-
absolutely fucking garbage.
Really, I heard it was good.
I heard it was horrible.
man.
That's crazy.
Let me see, I'm trying to find one here.
I think it's because of the individuals running the ghost kitchen, man. I think it's what it is. I think it's, and that's why I said I think you'd be really good at it because with your background in culinary skills, like you had a ghost menu from some other like a supplier, and then you started whipping up the.
But
the
I would
shit.
want to be the one that cooks it.
Well, yeah, you would be, but you would just.
But
have
these
to buy-
people aren't, right? Are these people in the kitchen cooking it?
Yeah, so let's say, all right, this is Wingville. I don't know what Wingville is. Never heard of it. I don't think there's a
heard of it.
Wingville in Springfield.
guys. If you guys know
It's
anything about
on
ghost kitchens,
It's on
let
East
us know.
Independence. yeah.
Drop
Because
something.
we're
Jesus
figuring it out
Christ.
right now.
Hit that comment button. So there's a Wingville. It's on Independence. So that means it's somewhere over there by. It's probably Hooters.
13%. Definitely going out of Hooters.
2055 East Independence.
That's definitely
There's
Hooters.
gotta be
Right.
around
So
Hooters,
this
like-
is Wingville. So
Bricktown.
I ordered through Wingville. I'm gonna get some wings from Hooters cooked in their kitchen, and Uber Eats is gonna come pick that up. and take it over there.
Okay, so look at it this way.
It's a third-party
It's a
deal.
Wingville. Why the fuck would Hooters sell someone else's wings in their
Well,
restaurant?
okay, in this instance, it probably is Hooters. They just
so they
open
just
up a separate
different
account.
account so people order their.
Yeah.
Look at the menu.
So, let's see here.
You can tell if it's fucking Hooters wings or not.
They got pizza, a chicken parm,
Bricktown.
Yeah,
Submarino.
Bricktown.
Bricktown, right next door.
Oh, dude, you're
Bricktown.
right. You're right.
Because Hooters can't make
And
a
it's-
pizza. I guarantee it. I
And
guarantee
it's all
you
boneless
it's Bricktown.
wings. Yeah.
I definitely know it's a new thing. It's a new concept.
Yeah,
for
oven
sure.
baked subs and sliders.
Because I know
they're
the
working
burger guy. He has like an Instagram page and stuff like that, and I followed it. I'm like, dude, who the fuck eats these things?
burger, Mr. Beast burger.
Yeah, he has an Instagram. Because people have showed me it before. I'm pretty sure.
Let's take a look at this.
You don't know who the fuck it is,
No.
but they have an
That's-
Instagram.
I mean, it sucked, and they fucked my order up so bad.
God, I'd be pissed.
Like I said, it's just like, dude, and that's the thing is like, I don't. Are you sure that these people are actually the ones cooking it? You know, you have a limited menu out, and you're trying to do a ghost kitchen or whatever. Like,
Dude,
I would
I
be the
mean,
one that
it's-
wants to fucking cook it.
Essentially, it's
Like,
it's,
leave me in a fucking little corner in your kitchen.
It's just what it is.
And-
It's
and
some
leave me the
guys in an
fuck alone.
office trying to make an extra buck, and they say,
Absolutely.
"Hey, we're gonna connect you to more online orders, and we're gonna use your kitchen and your ingredients. We're gonna come up with a menu based off of your ingredients, and they'll come up with that menu, come up with a restaurant, and then people go on and say, "Oh, I want Wingville. Oh, that sounds great." And then it's the same thing. So it's just kind of corporate bullshit middlemen that are getting in the way of it. That's all it
the thing, too,
really
is
is.
the dude that is coming up with these menus, like his own ghost kitchen menu. Is he the one getting the money, or is Bricktown?
Mr.
Um,
Beast LLC is definitely receiving. the
I'm
money.
sure. I mean, it's a small portion. Like you're not making. You're getting a portion of profits from. You're probably only really getting a lead. You're getting a commission essentially. But if you do that enough all across the country, you're making an ass load of money.
Yeah.
And so that's the only idea behind ghost kitchens is you're just creating new restaurants with existing restaurants and creating a menu and then selling the shit.
And I know
It's
already,
a super wild internet. I mean, it's no blockchain, but it's pretty wild stuff.
It is wild, and it's crazy because I know already that Mr. Beast, like all these crazy videos that he's been coming out with for the past couple of years, like his profit margins are razor thin because he spends so much money.
Well, yeah, and
in
he
the
doesn't.
videos.
I mean, also, but he's getting 30 million views per video,
Right.
So he's making an assload of money. If he spends $1 million and gives $1 million away to someone, he's gonna make $10 million on that video.
Just like you said, I think it's him trying to make more money.
Now, yeah. He's got a business manager that's doing all this shit for him, I think. And so in this instance, it's like, okay, well, yeah, you're making 50 cents off of a burger. It's not that much money. But if you're doing that nationwide
Yeah.
and you have these agreements and the restaurant's making a buck off of each one or whatever, however it works,
Yeah.
that's sort of how, just in bulk. But you've got to have a name. You got to have you got to have somebody willing to do all that work. And but there's nerds out there willing to do the work. So I don't know what to tell you.
There's nerds out there making memes, making cryptos.
It's conning you.
I mean, we'll
Scamming
see.
money.
We'll see.
We'll see. Yeah, I mean,
I'm
that's
confident.
funny. That's funny. It's because it's like one of us is going to look like an idiot. That's the beautiful thing about this is like you can be steadfast against it, or you can be all in.
Yeah.
But there's only going to be one outcome.
The one thing I will say is that the room for innovation and like all these different artists coming together and acting as, pioneers to like push Web 2 to Web 3, because inevitably it will happen. You know what I mean? Just like how Web 1 went to Web 2, Web 3 is coming. The world is changing and there's nothing we can do about it.
So we are in Web 2 right now.
I would say we're transitioning into Web 3. I mean, there's so much shit. I mean, even Joe Rogan posted on one of his podcasts, he was talking about him and his family and his kids. They were all strapped up in the Oculus 3.9s or whatever the hell. You had the goggles on, and they were fighting pirates on this ghost ship on the ocean, and you could feel it rock, and you could pick up items and feel it in your hand. And it's like all this crazy technology. It's like, holy fuck. And this is available to the consumer. It's already happening. You know?
I'm always I don't give it too much shit. I mean, I'm kind of putting on a little act here when I'm giving you shit because I do see a value to it because, you know.
But you're right.
Anything, and I always use this as an example. Like back in the 1600s in the Netherlands, they sold tulips. Tulips are valueless. There is no value to tulips, but they create. It's essentially the start of the stock market and speculation. They would take these tulips and they crossbreed them and say, okay, well, once these grow, they'll be worth so much. And then it started this entire market. And one day someone said, you know, people were making millions of dollars. Like this.
Of tulips.
Tulip bulbs specifically.
Yeah.
And you'd speculate as whether they would grow up and be the most beautiful thing you've ever seen. And at some point, they woke up and like, dude, this is fucking dumb. Like, this does not have any actual value.
Yeah.
And overnight, it was all done. Like, that was it. There was nothing more. And so there's always that. But, there was a period of time where it made, there's hundreds of people and families that probably still have money from those tulip trades. That's generational wealth was developed during that time off of these flower bulbs, and that still exists to this day. But at some point, the bubble bursts. And I think that's with anything. It could be, wine or baseball cards. It could be any of that shit. At some point, it's going to blow up, and you just got to know when the right time. And this is a little different because it's kind of currency in a way.
Right.
Or it could be considered a currency,
It's a commodity for talking, tulips,
right.
I guess.
Yeah, I mean, it's another, but then again, cash, cash, the value of cash fluctuates. We're just watching that right now, So it's all bullshit at the end of the day. I mean, even hard cash is bullshit. The only thing that's probably not bullshit is gold, but even that fluctuates.
Right.
So
silver, gold, all that. Yeah.
Copper.
Scrap copper.
Bronze. Yeah.
Copper's booming right now.
Is it?
Fuck yeah.
You scrapping?
No, I would.
Scrapping
It
copper.
wasn't
You
illegal.
scrapping? Yo, dude, you scrapping?
You scrapping?
Scrapping?
You steal my copper out of my building?
Dude, let's do a run. Let's do a run of that
real
copper.
quick. Steal someone's couch while we're at it.
But I mean, with everything that's going on with overseas in Ukraine right now, and how Joe Biden's supposed to meet up, on a phone call with Putin and try to chop things up and negotiate with him and try to, I guess, stop him
Dude,
from
I'm so sick of
invading.
this shit. I think
Anything could
we're.
happen.
I mean, and again, I don't
Why is it
know
always
anything.
Putin?
I don't think it's Putin. I think it's
Why is it
fucking.
always
I think it's
Putin?
the United Goddamn States putting their nose in shit that doesn't belong. Putin just doesn't want them to become a NATO.
Trump did the same shit.
Oh yeah, America is
Like-
fucking nosy as hell, and we put our big noses in whatever business we think we deserve to be in, and then blame the other guy and say they're the aggressor.
Do you think
That's happened every single fucking conflict we've ever been in, and
this is a big one? Do you think everything that's going on that's technically good in the world is actually just a cover up for other shit that's going on in the government?
it's pretty broad.
Yes,
You think?
dude.
I
I think that the general media.
Like COVID?
Wait, easy.
Hold on,
hey,
motherfucker.
buddy, you watch your fucking mouth. General media is not involved in any of this crap.
We're general media. You're on general media right now.
Yeah,
Shit, my bad.
your mic's cut.
You're fucking muted, Brandon.
Yeah, you're done.
That's tough.
But it's just
No, I know what you're saying though.
Yeah.
The mass media,
The mass media, but yeah, mass media.
legacy media.
I think they just put on a picture, man. They want to.
It's doom and gloom cells.
Yeah, they want to feed all the people sitting at home waiting for an answer on the next whatever topic is happening in the world. They want to. They're gonna give them what they want to hear, and I think there's always shit that's happening that we will never know about for at least a long time.
that's the thing is like with
just scary.
crypto, with COVID, with fucking everything. It's like, dude, it like, and as we see with COVID, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, this is like, it's kind of like the same thing with like crypto, right? So what we saw with COVID was basically like, boom, everything turned into shit.
Yeah.
Right. In a matter of fucking seconds,
Mm-hmm.
everything turned into shit.
Right.
Right. So it's one of those things. But then all of a sudden, people started being like, fuck that shit. It ain't real.
Mm-hmm.
And the moment that the world started to see that, and the moment that the world started kind of seeing what the media was doing with COVID
Yeah.
and scaring the fuck out of everyone, that's when it all kind of like died down. right?
Well,
So it
yeah.
stopped being in the newspaper every day. It stopped being on the TV 24 hours a fucking day.
Dude, we're
But
watching
then-
that right now.
But then all of a sudden it'll be like, new strain, people are dying again, and then everyone freaks out again. It's like, dude,
Exactly.
what the fuck? But then it goes away.
Yeah.
And now, boom,
Dude, and I think that's why CNN.
Omicron.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, dude, they're just going to keep doing it. But at the same time, it's like,
But that's the reason not to suck the Joe Rogan dick train, but like that's the entire reason why he's as popular as he is.
yeah.
Is because he's not spinning bullshit, fear mongering bullshit.
And that, like, and it's the same thing with like, okay,
Everybody
like,
sees
you know,
it, so
the
transparent.
world right now is like, I mean, and I'll say this, like a mass majority of the world right now is invested in crypto, right? So they're spending a lot of their time ignoring what's really going on in the world
'Cause
to
it doesn't
to look at their
apply.
crypto stuff,
Well,
right? How much time do you put into looking at crypto, right? So you think about that. You just wasted that much time on something that you know could be really going on in the world. So
Right.
what happens when they're like, this worked?
No,
This
yeah.
worked.
But again, and then you know that's the same. That unregulation, same thing with Rogan's because he's unregulated media, and so when you're unregulated and you do what you want. Same with crypto. It's like people see the actual effects and real life measure of what's going on and be like, oh, it's not that big of a fucking deal, and you've been lying to us this whole time.
Yeah, and that's the thing is like you might not spend a shit ton of time like in like watching crypto stuff and listening to people or whatever, or you might, but there is people in the world that are invested into crypto that's all they're doing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
They're at work on their shit looking at crypto. They're doing all these things, researching
traders.
while they're at fucking work.
Yeah.
As soon as they get home, they're just online looking at fucking videos, blah, blah, blah. They're not paying attention to anything else that's going on.
Right.
Like their neighbor could get shot, but they don't give a fuck because they're looking at their crypto thing. They're doing
Yeah.
that thing. Like, they're doing that stuff with everything, right?
That's just being naive,
So-
though. You know what I mean? Like
But
that comes down to the individual being
At the same
naive.
time, it's like the people that were invested into COVID. Look at those fucking people. They were like, dude, we got to go to the store. We got to buy everything that they have.
Spray it all
and we're
down.
not going out.
Yeah.
We're never leaving our home. Blah blah blah. And then all of a sudden, everyone else is still walking around.
I wonder.
Right? It's like, what could happen if all of a sudden crypto is another one of their fucking things that are like, oh, we're actually taking a shit ton of money from,
But whose thing, though?
Whatever.
You talking about the government?
yeah.
Well, the government has no hand in crypto.
Do you know that?
I mean,
Well,
that's
there's.
the whole
I mean,
think
yeah,
they're-
like, let's
I think
be honest
they're
here. Do you
trying
know
to,
that?
Because when you do your taxes this year, they're going to ask you. They say,
they're gonna ask you, do you have any cryptos? Do you have any whatever? Because
Exact-
it's a big thing right now.
They're
Well,
going
it's
to get
all the money that's in it.
a
So,
lot of American dollars are caught
any
up. in
dollars that are spent in the United States or in the world is going to be somewhat have to be involved with their government.
that. Yeah.
That's
it's-
just all there is to it. Or they're going to look at it and be like, oh, it's illegal because they're actually trading money and doing all these things
Well,
without getting taxed on it, without
And
this
you
and that.
can't
and
you
blah,
can't
blah,
let
blah.
the people regulate their own money. I mean,
And that's what's going on with crypto.
It is.
That's
And-
exactly
and
what's
that-
going
it's
on.
hard to govern
He could
people.
invest his money in crypto right now and then make $1,000 overnight and then pull the bitch out and
Yeah.
be tax free.
Yeah.
You have to pay a gas fee or whatever, but that doesn't even quote unquote
that's
go
not
to the
even
internet.
close to what
No,
your
it's like,
taxes
dude,
are gonna be.
I mean, it's not. You're
I'll
going to
have
pay
to
a
report
gas
it to
fee
the
or
IRS.
whatever. Exactly.
Yeah.
But
Well, now-
that
now
goes
you
to the
do.
government.
Yeah.
The IRS is the fucking government. They know what you're
The
doing in your free
IRS
time.
is not even a fucking arm of the government. That's what's bullshit. The IRS is just a private individual fucking thing that the
Agency,
U.S.
yeah.
government hires
Yep.
to collect taxes for the Treasury.
But it's ran by the government.
But it's
Because they have
by
the biggest
now
hand
they're
in it.
so intertwined that
The government could be like, you know what? There's no more IRS. And it'd
could
be gone.
Income tax is legal
And they'd be
technically.
gone. So it's just one of those things where it's like, I just think that all these things that are going on in the world are
think
just,
it's crap.
it's a cover up for what's really going on.
Well, I did
And a lot of people feel that way because I've talked to multiple people. They're like, dude, everything that's going on in the world right now that might seem good, crypto seems great. It does. Like when you look at the retrospective things, crypto seems fucking awesome because you can invest your money, you can make money, you can, possibly take out, like I was telling you, if I got on crypto right now and I invested in something tomorrow, I woke up and it was up $100, I would take that bitch out. I mean, that's just me as a person. I made $100 in 24 hours. Cool. I'm good.
Yeah.
But
and this thing that I don't even know it's real.
You can't do that though.
Exactly.
You
So,
can't put
So-
in crypto and then the next day take it out.
how
which is,
so they're at the mall. They have an ATM. They have a crypto ATM. How does that work?
Oh, I didn't even know that.
Yeah.
A crypto ATM.
Yep. You can go in and I don't know what you put in because I don't, crypto Bitcoin's not giving you a debit card.
Yeah.
So I don't know exactly what you put in, maybe some kind of login information, but there is a cryptocurrency ATM at the mall. You know where Who Hot is?
Mm-hmm.
You know where the mall entrance right there?
Yeah.
Just go straight in there, and it's one of those vending machines on the side next to Macy's.
Really?
Yeah, check it out. I don't know.
It's got to be tied to your wallet somehow, because that's how you store your crypto.
Yeah,
is you make like a wallet.
Surely that's an extremely high fee.
It has to be. It has to be some sort of at least a fee,
dude, or just a fucking a honeypot for the IRS.
Yeah, I mean, because look, like you don't know, right? So like, what happens if you like, oh, I just I made $1,000, so I'm gonna go to this ATM, sell my crypto to this random fucking machine and pull out $1,000.
So what would it take?
Where the
for
fuck
you?
does that go?
What would it? Because you're obviously
you don't know. Where does that go?
So since you're so invested in this, what would it take? What would have to happen for you to be like, this is bullshit, I'm cashing out? Have you considered that yet?
Yeah, absolutely. So, for me to pull all my money out, I would have to be like 100% convinced that the government was putting a stop to it, and it would have to go from decentralized to centralized.
Did it worry you at all when they started wanting you to claim it on your taxes?
Not really, because I don't know. Like, that's kind of personal opinion on how everyone feels about taxes, but I feel like, everyone should pay taxes to some degree, and I feel like that's kind of fair, because I feel like a lot of people got away with a lot
of people aren't paying taxes.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, and
I would say
eventually
I would say. Now we're getting a little political, but my feeling on taxes is like I'll happily pay property taxes, and personal property
100%.
taxes, even state taxes,
100%.
But when I'm paying 50% of my income to the federal government, I don't see a goddamn dime back.
Yeah.
That bugs the hell out of me.
Yeah.
Now when I pay and I go get my license renewed, and it tells me on a piece of paper like, this much of what you just paid went to roads, this much went to schools, this much went to the fire and police, I happily pay that.
Yeah.
But
that's the thing is, like, I don't even like even paying for like personal property tax. I really don't understand that either.
Well, now
if you really think about it,
I
because
agree. If you
own
it down,
something, why the fuck do you have to pay for it every year?
Yeah,
you already paid for it.
No, there's definitely a good argument for that.
You know what I'm saying? Like, if you own something, if you buy a home for $500,000, you pay the motherfucker off. Why the fuck do I have to pay for that every year?
You bought that.
It doesn't make sense.
You bought that using taxed money that you paid sales tax on.
Exactly.
So
they made their fucking money.
I think it's something like 5 cents to the dollar is actually earned and valuable, or something to that matter. I'm probably off in a little bit, but something that by the time you earn $1 and tax it, by the time you buy something with sales tax, by the time you pay the property tax on what you bought, it's all boiled down to like 5 cents. It's actually hard money that you actually earned and is actually able to use.
Yeah, because I mean, even with like my income taxes.
Now, I would say income tax sucks, but I would say as far as property tax, I think it's less that you own it and now you have to pay for it, and more just a measure of how much you should have to pay.
Yeah.
Because you can tell a value of an object much more than you can tell. I'd rather them do that and I not own anything than to come into my get my personal finance and say, all right, well you're paying 20%.
Yeah.
Because I could just not buy a boat or something like that and not have to pay as much in taxes.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. That's the thing is, like, I mean, if you pay $6,000 to drive your car, right, and then at the end of the year you have to pay $100 to drive your car that you own, like, what the fuck? Why?
Well, but that's where the American taxpayer does get fucked over. Like, as a business owner, all that stuff is like deductible in a way. You know, you can write. I use my
shit off.
Yeah, but if you're W-2, you don't get the option for that.
Yeah, like my income taxes, dude. I haven't had a decent income tax return in probably 6 years.
Well, a return is bullshit too, because if you want to boil down a return is money you overpaid that they're just giving you back that they borrowed and didn't pay you interest
on.
on.
But 95% of the time, dude, it's like this year I don't even want to know.
Dude,
honestly.
I'm so scared.
I've paid so much fucking money in taxes this year because I make
tax.
a lot more.
Well, no, it's just in general. How much money are you spending on payroll tax?
A shit ton.
Fucking
everything.
Yeah.
So it's one of those things where it's like, dude, I'm scared shitless of what it's going to look like this year.
Yeah.
I'm scared. Yeah. Because I pay so much in taxes, and I'm probably going to see I'm probably going to owe money.
It's like, every year I've owned a business, like, I've owed money.
Yeah, it's like it doesn't make sense. Like, and I'm not making a killing by any means. I'm not.
dude. But
So
I
it's
mean,
like,
it's,
why the
when
fuck do you need me to pay you now? You know, it's
That-
like,
it's- I tell you what, there's nothing that will turn someone more conservative than owning a business. Like
Yeah.
I'm pretty like socially, I'm very liberal. Like I really believe in a lot of that shit. But then it's like, okay, well, dude, you're really fucking me over here, dude. Like cut me
Yeah.
some slack. Like
Yeah.
you're taking half of my money, and then I'm also paying like. Clearly, like when you have employees, like it's like, okay, you pay them this much, but then you have to pay them just as much in taxes. So you're double paying everyone. And it's like, what do you...
23 cents per dollar is what you pay for employees.
It's bullshit. And that's just
taxes.
Just taxes.
Yeah.
That doesn't include benefits or...
I don't know
or
if
any
that
of
went up,
shit.
but that's what it was last year.
Oh,
23 cents per dollar, I think, is what you pay your employees for taxes.
Yep. Yep. And then you got to withhold their taxes
Yeah.
and then pay that in.
Yep.
And then that's just taxes. That doesn't include Social Security, which you also have to match, and unemployment. You have to match the unemployment benefits.
And don't even get into fucking workman's comp.
Yeah.
Dude,
Holy
no, you
cow.
probably got it great
I
compared
don't have
to...
that shit.
You have to, though, right?
Workman's comp, fuck no.
You have over 5 employees, right?
Yeah.
You're supposed to have workers' comp as a business
I
in
don't
City of
think we
Springfield.
do. I don't know if we do, honestly.
I thought that was salary.
Cut
time.
that out if we have to.
We
No.
might. I don't know.
Well, maybe that's construction. That could be construction.
I don't think you have to have workman's comp.
No, at least for construction, I believe. Well, construction may be any employees, but workers' comp is 20% for construction. 20% of gross revenue for the entire year.
Yeah.
So if I
really,
sell $100,000 worth of work, my policy is $20,000.
Yeah. I really don't think we have. I don't think restaurant owners have to have.
I think restaurants may be different. I may,
Yeah, 'cause, like,
maybe
it's
I'm
gotta be
thinking of.
different.
Dude, I've literally cut my finger off before, and they're like, "What do you want me to do?"
Well,
You know,
yeah,
it's
I
like
mean, you're not going to
if
do a
I went to
workers'
the
comp
like
bill
if I
for
went to the
that.
hospital, exactly. There's not anything that could like in a restaurant like unless you run your hand through a fucking slicer. Mm-hmm. But at the same time, I watched a kid do that.
Well,
I watched a kid fucking do that, and then they were just like, "Go to the hospital,"
here's the bullshit thing
you
about
know. And
construction.
then he had to
though.
fucking pay for it. I mean, that's the
In
nitty gritty of like
construction,
the world right now, man.
You pay. You have
Construction
class
workers,
codes.
construction workers, you could fuck yourself up in so many different ways. In
Right.
kitchens, you can't.
But when I do workers' comp and they audit you every year for your workers' comp, they check your invoices versus what your class codes are. Now your class codes are certain, like it's like for framing it's like 20%, for plumbing it's 10%. And so since I do everything, I would have to class code each individual job and each individual task. So not only does that suck, but then I have all this paperwork I have to fucking do to separate what we did during the day, to separate my class code, so I'm not paying 20%. Because I could just say, "Oh, we're just doing framing all the time," but that's 20. That's that. You know, it's an insane amount of money to do
The
that.
rates are different.
Yeah.
Yeah, because like, I don't know, I really don't think.
I think you're
kitchens
different. I think you're
have to
probably
have workman's
right.
comp.
You're probably right because you get the categories for when you fill out your business license or whatever.
Yeah, it's like you literally cannot. I can't. I mean, I've been doing this for almost 14 years. I can't think of a way that something so bad would happen to me at work in a kitchen where I would
Right.
need to file for workman's comp.
Yeah.
I literally can't. If you burn the shit out of yourself, be careful.
Yeah, dude. I
cut your fucking
as
finger
many
off, learn
times
how
I've
to use a
burned my
knife.
current, like even the few years I worked in a kitchen, like burning myself was like, all right, suck it up, pussy.
Yeah.
It wasn't like
Rub some fucking mustard
what
on and get over
paperwork
it.
do I need to figure out
Yeah.
for workers' comp?
It's like, dude,
I'm gonna be out for
it
a
doesn't
week.
ex- it
I
doesn't
need
exist.
compensation.
Yeah.
Well,
It does
yeah,
not
yeah.
exist.
Yeah,
I'm
so you're
quite positive.
you might be right on that. I just because when I
insurance-
went,
like restaurants don't even require insurance.
all right, then it's
So,
Yeah.
like, we're not required to carry insurance for all of our employees.
It must be construction then, because that's when I went to get my business license through the city of Springfield, they required general liability insurance as well as workers' comp if you had
Yeah, and like
more than one.
But the shit that
employee.
you do, it's like, dude, if someone falls through a
That's
fucking roof,
yeah, exactly. Yeah.
imagine what could happen to someone if they fall through a fucking roof.
Yeah, not
you
good.
know,
I can only imagine.
that's a different story.
They're on
than
their own
If you
as far
slip
as
and
I'm-
fall at work, it's
they're-
like more non-slips, dumbass.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, it's like literally, it's like
Right.
what there's so many ways around it in kitchens and restaurants that it's like you slipped and fell because you're not wearing non-slip. That's your own fucking fault. You cut your finger off because you weren't fucking paying
Which,
attention
you know,
to your
and
knife.
again, in the construction world, it's like, all right, it's really hard to get work comp pay anyway. But unfortunately, you still have to hold the insurance because it's like, all right, I got something in my eye. It's like, all right, you weren't wearing safety glasses. We're not paying. You know, my dad fucking died working on a roof, and we have to sue the shit out of the company to get $1 out of it.
Yeah.
And so it's like, you know, you do have to work for this shit. You don't, you know, just because they have the insurance or just because they work comp doesn't mean
They're just going to be like, yeah, here it is. You know?
Exactly. Yeah,
they're gonna fight you for it.
Yeah,
for
exactly.
sure.
It's bullshit.
Because I'm pretty sure they tried to fight my dad for it whenever he worked for because he's an iron worker.
Oh, yeah, and they have big time fucking workers' comp policies.
And so this was years ago, and they were putting together some sculpture type of thing with like all these huge fucking metal beams and blah, blah, blah. And the person that was buying it wanted a picture of it. So basically what they had to do was they put the sculpture of the thing that they were building together. And
like
the problem
up,
is like, yeah, they like, you know, they put it together, but it was not like together correctly.
Right.
You know,
Two
because
of the
like,
four
you have
bolts
to,
were
you have
in.
to ship that shit off. So you can't just weld everything together and then unweld it.
It has to be up
You
to
know,
code.
it's like it's literally like 100%.
Right,
So
yeah.
what his boss had him do was he was like, "Hey Matt, that piece up there is off." And my dad was like, "Well, I'm pretty sure how the story went was like basically my dad was like, "You want me to get up there and hit that big ass fucking beam with a hammer to put it into place so you can take a picture of it?" And he's like, "Yeah." And so he went up there and hit it with a fucking hammer. What happened? The whole thing fucking fell. So what happened was my dad fell.
He was on a
onto
lift or anything. He was just free climbing the
like
shit.
my dad fell onto the ground, and then one of the beams fell down. Probably weighed 500 pounds. One of the beams fell down on top of him, rolled over his shoulder, and then rolled over his head.
Oh my god!
And so he had to go to the hospital, and I'm pretty sure it like cracked his skull, and then,
I'm sure
he
He
had
had to have
bleeding out of his ears
shattered
and
his
shit.
collarbone, maybe.
And
like,
I mean, dude, it fucked him up, you know. And it's just one of those things where it's like, yeah, he had to get workman's comp for that, but they still fought him for that. He got it.
Yeah,
'Cause
but
of
that's
fucking,
the thing. That's
like,
the
I mean,
thing.
it's just like, dude,
yeah.
that you shouldn't have been doing that. You should
Yeah.
not have sent someone up there. Because my dad was like, look, I'll go fucking do this shit, but I need to fucking, you know, weld it a little bit.
Right.
And he's like, no,
And-
you can't weld it
and
because then we have to unweld it and
That's
blah, blah,
the
blah.
other part of it too. Is there's only a handful of companies, at least for construction, that will write workers' comp policies. And so once you're kicked off of one, you're not going to get written up for any of the other ones.
Yeah.
And so you have to fight tooth and nail because you're not going to get any jobs and you're going to lose your business if you get kicked off this workers' comp insurance. And then you're just, it's like, I have to fight. I mean, I know it sucks what happened to you, but, you know, because obviously I can see both sides of this because I've been on both sides of this shit.
it's the way the world works, man.
Yeah, and it's like, all right, so, and you know, from the business perspective, it's like, all right, yeah, you got hurt and that sucks, but if this doesn't work out, then I've got 30 other employees that are going to lose their jobs because we're going out of business. So,
Yeah.
you know, those are the kind of tough decisions you have to make in those things, and that's stressful. That's what sucks about owning a business is you got to make those kind of calls.
Yep. That's crazy. Yeah. Like workman's comp is like something that like I would never do a job that like that's even like they're like, oh, we do have workman's comp. It's like too dangerous. Fuck that. I'm out.
Right.
I'm out.
What do you
Nope.
need that for?
Like, yeah.
Right,
What do you guys
banking
do?
on me getting hurt?
Yeah. Like, am I supposed to fucking get my shit crushed? You know, like what the fuck? Like what is my job title here? I came here to fucking, you know, work at the register. You know, you're trying to give me workman's comp.
Yeah, I've never been into construction, so I wouldn't
Yeah.
know.
But those construction workers, man, like they're crazy. Like they're fucking crazy because there are so many different ways that you can fuck yourself up doing construction. Lifting big ass beams, blow your back out. I mean, dude,
a
so
lot of
I've
it's
heard
done,
too many stories.
I mean, you know, I can walk beams and I can do a lot of it's just you do it and you just don't. A lot of times you just do it because it's done, and you know, I mean, I can't tell you how many times in this last project I had to fight with safety guys. They're like, "Oh, you need to be tied off." I was like, "Dude, to what?" So like we're on the top of this structure, like walking beams and laying metal. I don't know what you want me to do here. I can tell them to tie off, but what? Do you want me to run a crane out here so that we can tie off to the fucking ball here?
Yeah.
You know, it's just it's done both ways.
Yeah. I wouldn't do it.
It's fun. I
wouldn't
like
do
it. It's fun. I don't mind it.
And yeah, I hate to subject jump, but I really wanted to comment. On
You got to go back to crypto?
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah,
I
I
just,
knew it.
I just wanted to say that, it's gambling. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, it's
That's what I
gambling
say.
because, like you said, you never know what's actually going on behind the scenes. You're not there with the developing companies that are making these technologies that are coming out with these platforms and blockchains or whatever the fuck, right? But the reason why I, press the button to invest all my money into it is because there's so much room for growth and innovation, and it's just I don't know. I'm pretty young. I come from a generation that's always kind of looking for the positive. It's not terribly realistic. I try to be as realistic as possible, but at the end of the day, man, like I will be damned if 10 years from now, if I sell all my crypto and it'll be
have
worth.
to look back.
I have to look back and be like, wow, I wish I would have invested in that. Like I wish I would have went with my gut feeling and I could be in this
I
project.
get it, but I mean that's
like,
also the gambler's mindset too. It's like they probably live a lifetime thinking like, dude, if I just hadn't hit on that, I'd be a millionaire right now.
Yep.
it's true.
And so you've got to weigh the
Because we already know how much the casino's making revenue.
Oh yeah.
People love gambling, and crypto's the same fucking thing.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's like
I think it's maybe a little more transparent.
It
in
is
a way.
because it has a track record. You know what I mean? It's
right.
The stock market, crypto. It's
no different than the stock market. If you're betting on options and shit like that,
It
the stock
essentially
market
reflects it.
options trading is absolutely 100% gambling. I
Yeah.
mean, you're
Dude, there's
gambling
even-
that the company fails that day or that they do well.
Yeah.
That's the only way you make money.
Dude, there's options that you can trade right now on people. You can bet money on fear, on
Dude,
people's emotion.
That's that's options trading. You're
Yeah.
gonna bet. You
like
can.
there's literally specific options that are based on the fact of people panic selling, and you can make money off that. Like you can bet on human emotion to make money.
Which
That's what
options are a
that's
whole
like-
fucked up deal.
That's
too.
happening right now in the
Because
world.
options
right
are
now.
other people's stocks that you're taking and buying up and gambling with.
Yeah.
And now you're not even really gambling. You're borrowing them and promising that you'll pay them back, and then you're
based on
based on whatever you think is going to happen, and
Yeah.
then hopefully you make more than what you think, and then you can give them back what's the difference.
yeah.
And that's playing with house money, dude. That is that is a loan shark gambling. And it's got high. I mean, that's the best way to make money, I think, in the stock market. Like day to day, just trading, blue chip stocks. You're not going to make that much money. Options are,
Well, it's a lot safer, right? You know. What I mean?
Yeah. There's
Right.
but they're long term, but short term, you can make $14,000 in a day, and then
And that's kind of why I'm
nothing for another 2 months. But
so. My question is, why are you not allowed to like pull out your crypto
like the day
immediately?
after.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it just
Why-
depends on.
is it because the complication of the
It's like
turning it into cash?
Yeah, kind of. It's like it's like a sale. It has to process. It has to go through. It has to confirm on like both ends of like the parties, yours and whatever like middleman you're going through. You know what I mean? Like
So
for example, the money that
if
I
I
invested,
if
had
I
to
bought
wait.
into a crypto and then like it all of a sudden skyrocketed where I made $1,000 in 24 hours. If I couldn't pull that out and then it dipped down the next day to where I was like back to even, that just doesn't make sense.
But didn't that happen with GameStop? Like the regulatory agencies put a stop on trading essentially,
Because
so
the
that you weren't able to
it
pull
was
it
like a
out.
Robin Hood thing too.
Well, that was particular. I mean, that
Yeah.
was Robin had a big part of that.
Yeah.
But still, because they were the main agency that was handling a lot of these quick purchases and sales.
Everyone knew that it was going to go up. A shitload of people were buying into it. Shitload of people were trying to exit back out.
And so, when the FCC gets involved and has to come in and says like, all right, we're stopping trading on this individual thing, which that was fucked up.
yeah,
That was very fucked up.
Yeah.
I will give them that. But
they were changing their terms and conditions. in
couldn't,
the minute. Like
couldn't, and I think this is getting to what you were saying, couldn't Bitcoin, if Bitcoin fell, there's no regulatory force. There's no FCC for crypto that could say, because technically Bitcoin could say, hey, no sales today, right? Or do you own those and it doesn't matter? Is it like having cash in your wallet versus a debit card?
what happens if like everything literally goes to shit with crypto and then it's just done? Like,
Well,
can
then
you-
I think at
are
that
you gonna
point we're
be able
all
to-
fucked, probably.
Exactly,
Yeah.
but are you going to be able to get your money back?
no,
Probably like
So
in
you
the
just
stock
lose it
market.
because of whatever
Well,
the
if
fuck
you had
happens.
if you had $2 million in Walmart and everything went to shit, it wouldn't matter. You're not getting that shit out.
I mean, you take away the computers all around the world that are running like the platform to which you can access your coin in your wallet, you can't get it back out.
What about an EMP? Like if that shit happened, I mean,
like
you're
a legitimate,
done.
like
a legitimate
nationwide-
solar flare EMP comes down from space.
You're fucked. I mean, unless you have like a really advanced like cold wallet, then you might be able to like get that back out. But then
Now,
it still wouldn't
what's
make
that
sense.
mean?
So like there's a hot wallet and there's a cold wallet. And a hot wallet is where it's basically meant for taking coin out of your, that wallet to like trade amongst NFTs or to day trade crypto or, whatever you're doing. But a cold
Like spending
wallet,
money, kind of. in a
yeah,
way.
exactly. Exactly. Yeah. And a cold wallet's where like you safely, it's like an offline storage to where you can put your
Like
crypto.
a hard drive.
Like a hard drive, yeah, and it's like you're not touching it. Like when you put it in there, it is locked away for X amount of time, and it's offline, so it's not online. Hackers can't like.
Well, that sounds safer to me in a way than even stocks, because stocks honest to God, I mean, my money, everyone's money, unless you have cold hard cash or gold, is just numbers on a computer screen.
Yeah,
Let's not forget that.
yeah,
It's just how many numbers you have in this account.
yeah. How many shares?
If
you
that
have,
computer dissolves, if something hit and destroyed all our electronics today, I have no money.
Yeah.
I have like $5 and a jar of change. Like that's what I'm worth.
I only have a jar of change.
yeah.
I don't
paper
keep
money would be
cash.
the new way.
Yeah, I don't keep
But
cash.
that's what's gonna happen. I mean, that's got to be the fear of. I mean,
it is
a lot of people.
for sure.
And I think that's a dumb decision, because a lot of people try and move away from cash, and the government too tries to move away from cash because cash is hard to regulate.
Yeah, yeah.
They can't make enough of it.
They're making plenty of it.
I know, but they always claim they can't make enough of it.
This was bullshit.
That's why everything goes to shit, because the government can't make
Dude,
enough money to
I mean, am I an
pay
idiot?
in the United States.
Again, I don't know any more than anybody else, but I knew when they were like, all right, we're going to do $3 trillion for debt and give everybody money. I was like, oh, shit. I can't wait for this now. I'm waiting for my check, but I know in about a year, this is going to be a big problem.
Yeah.
Like with inflation and shit. It's like you can't just create money, which is exactly what they're doing.
That's the thing, is like, if we're,
I didn't think it'd be this quick.
If we're so much in debt, like, how do we even do that?
We print it.
Yeah.
And then send it out,
And
and then
send
it's
it out, and
worth
then it's
whatever
worth-
it's worth whatever the community gives it. But now we're having worldly effects, and they're like, "Oh, dude, your money isn't worth shit." So now this costs this much, and so in our own little bubble, when that shit was happening, yeah, $1,200 was $1,200. But when we went out to buy computer chips or whatever overseas, they're like, "Oh, dude, that's not going to cut it, because your money doesn't mean shit because you just print a bunch of it." And so now the prices of everything else rises, causing the prices to rise on everything else. It's stupid. And I think that crypto could be a possible answer to that, but
At the same time, it's like, dude,
is it that much different than cash at the end of the day?
yeah. I mean, it's the same shit.
Arguments
You know,
can go both ways. You know?
Like I said, crypto for me it's a gamble, and for me personally, the reason why I will sit here and I will say that I would rather go to the casino is
you get
because you get cash. I can pull it out right then and there.
Yeah.
If I go up $1,000, I can pull it out in 20 seconds, and then just go home.
Right.
Now with crypto, you can't do that.
Yeah.
You know, it's like in your, like I said, if you put $103 into your NFT, you could have gone to the casino. You could have jumped up more than you did there.
Right.
Now, with crypto, could you jump more efficiently? Probably,
Yeah.
because like I said, it's like stocks, right? It could skyrocket one day, and then all of a sudden you're like, oh shit, now I'm only up $20.
Yeah.
You know, it's like going to the casino. You could do the same exact thing, but pull your money out right there, and go home with the money in your pocket.
Yeah.
With crypto, you have to go through all these things and whatever the fuck, and that's the reason why I would never invest in it, because me being who I am, and like I said, all props to the people that have became rich off crypto. That's great. All props to the people that are doing, investing in crypto right now. But for me personally, the reason why I won't do it is because I would rather go to the casino and be able to pull my money out right then and there,
Take your
or
chances.
lose it.
Yeah.
You know, and it's like, what happens if crypto, like if you invest $103 in it, and then crypto completely just fucking, like whatever you invested in just completely plummets, and then your $100 is gone. Are you just done?
I think you're lucky
Or
you
do
just
you
had
have
$100.
Are you just like, what happens then?
Do you think? Okay,
Because it can happen.
Yeah.
I mean, it could take an astronomical
I
fucking
think this
dip
would
in.
help.
another,
I think this would
$100 in the
help.
machine.
I
Yeah,
think
exactly,
this would help
but-
the entire situation. Let's say, could crypto regulate itself in a way where there's one main currency?
Like network.
Right. Because it's such a Wild West time now. Like,
Yeah.
what if there was one good, I mean, what if there's just a directory?
Yeah,
You
and
know?
that's what people have to remember too, is that there's so much room for ideas and expansion.
Wouldn't that require some kind of alliance between all of these different entities?
Yeah,
And
and that's already happening for sure with like
Oh,
smaller
okay.
cryptos right now.
They're
Like,
kind of ganging up and
Yeah,
working
well-
towards the bigger ones?
between like, because it's all, I mean, it's all kind of revolving around the ability to, you know, like hack it, like the potential of a hack.
Sure.
Because like not too long ago there was a
Well, shit, I've been reading all the news, and there's a $3.6 billion hack in crypto.
yep.
What was that all about?
So basically, it's that was boiled down to the type or like how they. Oh man, this is where it gets. I mean, like we're tip of the iceberg. This is like getting towards the bottom. You know what I
Damn,
mean?
dude, I thought we already kind of figured the whole thing
Oh
out.
fuck no, fuck no. I'm gonna just kind of bullshit
Hit it.
my way
No,
through
hit it,
this
hit it,
because
hit it.
this is tough.
I'm
but-
interested. I've asked the question. I expect an answer.
It's dude. So like basically between these transactions and how these blockchains kind of communicate with each other, it's called bridges, right? There's these bridges that connect them, and these certain like codes that these developers have written.
Like website code.
Kind of, yeah. I think it's similar. Like I said, I'm not an expert in this particular.
No, you're an expert. Move on.
No,
Onward. You're
it's
you're
the type
voice.
of
You're the voice of
technology.
crypto.
The type of technology that the bridge was running off of wasn't as stable and secure as another.
Between platforms,
Yes,
essentially?
between blockchains, and
Okay,
because of that,
yeah,
because of that, the technology being vulnerable to a higher level of attack like that, these people, whoever they are, were able to get in and fucking yank that. I mean, I'm pretty sure I read they stole like upwards of 500, 600 ETH, and we're talking 500 times 2,800. I mean, that's what ETH's at right now. That's a lot.
I thought I
of
saw in the
fucking
news it was
money.
$3.6 billion.
That's a lot of fucking
So
like.
they were able to
So what
pinpoint the
happens that-
weakness, the weak points. No, now is that like an office space thing, or those are just residual?
Or do those people, are those people that are invested in that thing
Are they
that
actually
they just
out?
stole, are they just done? Did they lose everything they have?
No.
Are these fractions of a transaction
No.
type of a deal?
Because as far as I'm concerned, they can go back and look at that. They can look on how, because when it comes to like hacking and shit, like you can go back to the crime scene per se, and you can kind of break
Criminal
it down.
always returns back to the scene of the crime.
Yeah, you can go back to the crime scene and find out how he did it. And if you find out how he did it, you find out who he is, who they are. And if you find them, and you will be able to kind of analyze and like just kind of like pay attention if they were to ever like try to withdraw a substantial amount of money.
So the only way to catch
No one-
them was if they did it again.
But that's the thing is, no one's doing that under their real name.
No, yeah.
I mean, let's be honest.
but
If
I
they
mean,
do
dude,
that, if they figure,
said
if some dude is so good and they could hack in and steal $3.6 billion,
These
that person is gonna break the fucking laptop that they were using. They're gonna.
These
it's not
are-
under their real name, so it's like, dude, that dude is it's like a fucking a drug lord, right?
these are
He's going under the
metaverse
radar.
bank robbers, dude.
absolutely.
Yeah,
but in
100%.
order to get that money out, he's gonna have to go buy a new laptop.
Now let me
take
ask
the
you this.
motherfucker out and then
Dude, he's got
break
plenty of
that
money
one.
to buy one.
Yeah, yeah,
Plenty
he's
of
got
fucking money to do it.
But I mean, realistically,
You
in
can buy
order to
100
withdraw
laptops
that
and
money,
download them 100 times.
100
Just keep breaking them.
in order to withdraw that money, like you're putting your connection out there. Like I mean, that is like
But
I-
so just to try and clarify this. So they have trace evidence of what he did and the IP address. I'm guessing that he used to do this shit, which Probably doesn't even fucking matter because if he's smart enough to pull $3.6 billion, he's probably using Onion browsers and shit like that.
Oh, he's using VPNs.
VPNs,
He's using like
right.
signal blockers.
But he'll have some kind of calling card.
right.
And so something
A
will attach
signature.
him to him
Yeah.
that when he goes to withdraw that money,
Yeah.
it will ding back.
You'll have the government white hats.
Dude, okay. Also, dude, if you try to cash a
$3.6 billion
$3.6 billion check, you go to the bank try and cash that. Dude, the government could write you a $3.6 billion check and they'd be like, "Yeah, we're not cashing this." Like, I gotta call someone.
I mean, like their plan in order to obtain that money has to be so much more extravagant than the plan to like acquire
it
that
out.
money in the first place because
wow.
It's going to take a lot more for them to take it out than to
So-
steal it.
yeah, I mean because
Yeah. Okay. So
Because
what's the?
it's all a transaction.
So was this just a fucking like a fluff? Like just like because hackers, I know hackers are particularly like I did it to say I could do it. Like it's
sometimes, yeah, for sure.
And do you think this could be that type
But that's
of
the
a deal?
thing is like, you know, what happens in this scenario where he's like, I'm not going to pull the money out, but I just stole the money from this crypto and now
Exactly.
these people are fucked.
Exactly. He's just some people want to watch the world, man. You
Like
know, he's
literally,
Michael Caine.
this dude could have just this dude could have just robbed the person just like you that was up a mill in their crypto and now it's gone.
yeah.
I think it would be more
Imagine
of a
being that
crime that
fucking
he
guy, especially
doesn't.
if that dude doesn't even give a fuck about pulling it out.
That's what I'm saying.
And
That's
he
the
goes,
crime.
He goes back to work at McDonald's and goes about his normal fucking day, but he just hacked
Dude,
into this
being a
shit,
fucking
broken.
lord of
He
the internet.
He never wants to fucking cash out. He just wants to prove a fucking point.
Yeah, I don't like that.
What
guy.
do you do then?
He would probably get away
Because
for it for a
there's-
while.
But there's
But-
no way you
Okay.
can trace him if he doesn't go
Yeah,
to
you
cash
can.
it.
Yeah,
How?
you can. Because
Eventually,
dude,
I
I'm
think
telling
they
you-
would be able
I'm
to do
telling
it.
you right now, like I can't, like I don't know enough knowledge. Like I can't spit
You want
it
to phone a
out.
friend?
Dude, I could. I really
You
could.
got
phone a
somebody?
friend. I do. I don't know if he's awake right now, but this
Oh,
man
this
that
guy's probably awake.
this guy that I have on here, I would consider him a gray hat. And what gray
Now,
hats? They're like
you've mentioned that a couple times. You said a white hat and a gray hat.
white hat, gray
What
hat,
are,
and a
what are
black
these
hat.
hat things?
Hats. So I mean, they're official terms. A white hat is
Are they
someone that either.
administrators or like?
So a white hat is someone that either that gets caught hacking in like a criminal or a mischievous, a malicious way, and the government catches them and they hire them to work for them. Or it's just somebody that goes to the government and says, "Hey, I'm really good at computers. I want to do this for you guys. I want to cybersecurity." Cyber.
Oh.
What's your friend exactly?
friend.
Yeah, we talked about
he's
that
not
for
a
a while.
pussy.
He-
Jumped the gun on that one.
I'm sure he has a way better title than a white hat, but I mean, that's pretty cool in my.
So is that the worst of the community considered?
No, that's the best. So a gray hat would be
It gets
someone,
worse?
Yes, a gray hat would be someone that's like there's a specific word for it. It's someone that goes out of their own way to try to like save the day, but
a
it's
white knight.
it kind of there's another term for it. I'm brain farting right now, but it's like a civilian that wants to help
Stolen
out.
valor or
That's
oh
stolen
no,
valor.
I know what you're talking
Yeah,
about.
it's like a civilian that wants to go out of their way to help the community. Wants to be a
Vigilante.
A vigilante.
Yeah,
That's right.
yeah.
That's the term.
Dude,
Yes.
So gray hats are vigilantes.
Pretty much. I mean, and black hats, those are the fuckers that would do what we're talking about. Those are the guys.
just to say they could do it, just to prove.
yes, those are the guys that are either
Motherfuckers.
they want the money or they literally just fucking absolutely demolish a firewall. They
Now,
break right through it. They
you
set a
probably
back door. They
Don't
come.
know, but I'm curious if there's like a percent. Like, are most people white hats? Are most people gray hats or black hats? I mean, there's
Man.
probably not even a way of knowing really, but
I-
I'd be interested to know like the percentage.
I would be too. And if I had to guess, I would just based on all the knowledge I have about human psychology, I would say there's a lot more fucking people out there that are doing it in a malicious way. There's people out there.
So that would be the white hats.
the black hats. The black
Okay,
hats.
so the black doing it just for personal.
Personal gain.
Not
Criminally.
even. I mean, it sounds like clout in a way, like clout
Yeah.
chasing in a way, like,
for sure.
Because I know
they
that's a big
they're-
part of the hacker community. From what I don't know about any of this stuff.
They know they're going to be on headlines. They know
right,
they're going to
right,
get attention.
right. The anonymous fucking
yeah.
guys.
Yes, exactly.
yeah,
Yeah, but they're kind of gray hats in a way because they try to like intervene on.
do they?
I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't know. I think
it's
they're.
tough.
I think they're pussies.
I think
I don't mean that.
Biatches.
If you're real, I don't mean that.
Dude. And
Don't shut us
find
down. Don't come find me.
this whole
My
topic.
internet's very open.
I mean, this whole topic, it interests me a lot, but at the end of the day, like, you were telling me about your friend and how he was so interested and just fascinated with computers from the beginning. And I wasn't like that, you know what I mean? I was just a video game guy. I love to play COD, whatever, have a good time. But I would love to learn more about that because, I mean, at the end of the day, like the people that will do that, that'll continue to do it in the future, they're going to get caught because, no matter whether it's in real life or whether it's on the interwebs, there's always a trace. There's always a signature. There's a human behind that keyboard that, we make mistakes. No matter who you are, you're going to make a mistake somewhere. And that's how...
That's the Black Hat's curse.
I mean, it's...
Yeah.
Dude,
That's the name of the episode, the Black Hat's
Dude,
curse.
you're right.
Look how many people get money taken out of their bank account every day.
Yeah. Look how many people give it up to these Nigerian princes.
Yeah.
Like,
Dude,
Dr. Phil had a real
it
good
never
special on that.
never fails, but I've had to get a new debit card every year, like basically before Christmas. And the reason why, I don't know. I honestly couldn't fucking tell you.
Yeah.
But it never fails for the past 3 years. Someone has got into my account right before Christmas and stole everything that I fucking have.
What?
Every year.
Drain the account?
100%.
We're talking about a standard debit card account.
Dude, it's probably your buddy.
Dude, it's got to be someone you know.
Like, dude, but that's the thing is like debit card changes, everything changes, the numbers, everything. And it never matters.
Dude, it's someone you know.
It's got to be someone you know. I mean, there's just no...
But that's the thing is like I tracked the transactions to
I've
the
been
one that
hacked
happened. It was actually when I worked
many
at Bruno's.
times.
Like when I was working at Bruno's right before Christmas this past year.
Did they do a business account?
Huh? No.
Just
like
personal.
my bank account.
Just personal
Every
bank
year.
account.
Every fucking year.
All right.
And this isn't
And-
tied to any other...
No, like these last transactions that I
paycheck.
had during Christmas time, they got spent at a which luckily I didn't have that much money in my account at this period of time, but they still sucked almost $300 out of my account at a bar in New York. A real bar
Dude, you're getting...
That's weird.
in New York. I don't know anyone in New York.
Why were you in
And
New
it's
York?
just it's one of those things that it's like, dude, it's $300 got taken out at the same bar in New York.
Every time? Or is it just this one pass?
No, this is just this last one.
Okay.
The one before that was like some weird fucking company that was like basically taking money from my account from like, it went from like Texas.
Have you changed banks or anything? Like,
That's when I had a completely different bank. The time before this, I used a completely different bank. Still happened. But I mean,
That's
dude, it
wild. That's
happens.
what makes me
It
think it's gotta
happens
be
so
someone you
much.
know.
It happens so much to people in general, especially before Christmas.
I don't know. I've never heard of this.
I literally have...
Dude, I'm telling you.
I've been
Like,
trust me. I've had tons of
I
fraudulent
hope that it
expenses.
doesn't.
I've
I
had
hope
that
that it
happen all the
doesn't
time.
happen. But I guarantee you that before this Christmas, my account will get sucked of money, and I will come to you and I will show you.
And I'm going to solve it.
Like,
Dude, you got a crypto king
but
over here.
the thing is, it's
I'm
so
gonna get to the
easy
bottom of
now.
it.
The thing, it's so easy for people to do that now because number one, how many
really is.
times a day do we use things? We might not, but I'm saying how many times a day do people use things?
yeah.
DoorDash, Uber Eats, blah, blah, blah. They're submitting this into a
Dude, all of my
website
devices are connected
to
to
some-
my card.
some
Yeah.
Arabian man in
I've
fucking
got
wherever
6 iPhones in
that
here.
now has your debit card information.
Some Arabian. That's easy,
I mean,
buddy.
I'm just saying, like, I mean, that's just,
could be Nigerian. Could
that
be
could be
anywhere.
anyone. It doesn't matter who the fuck it is, but they have access to your card number now because you process that into their shit.
Okay, but I don't think they had access to your bank or your card number. They had access to your bank account. It sounds to me because I don't know that you could drain the exact amount.
You enter your debit card number, and you could do anything you want.
Do you get that money back?
I mean, I had to get a new debit card, and I got it back. But at
Yeah,
the same
okay.
time, that's what fraud's for, right?
Yeah, I
what
mean that's.
fraud
I was gonna say anytime
accounts
I've
are
had
for.
fraudulent
Did they give
accounts.
you a reason? Like, I mean, I would have been asking the bank, like, what? I mean, is there
did-
any other, like...
They're like, dude, this happens to so many people before Christmas. Before
That's
major
wild.
holidays, it happens to so many people. But it's the same thing, is that the way that they were paying for it, guess how?
Who they?
Apple
Who's they?
Pay.
Who's
Apple
they?
Pay.
They sucked it all
The
out
people
through,
in New York, they were spending all this
Yeah.
money at a bar. They're purchasing it all through Apple Pay.
means you got your phone number. How long you had your phone number? The
3,
entire
4
time
years.
that all this has been happening?
Yeah.
Dude.
What's your phone number?
But that's the thing is like if you get
a new phone number, see
if
what
you
happens.
set up Apple Pay, and you could get my card number right now and go and spend it wherever you want. Okay, it's on your
Damn,
Apple
I just
Pay.
started using Apple Pay.
That's it.
I've never used Apple
Because you have to think there's no verification code. You don't have to enter a
Dude,
fucking
they
password
just
on Apple
they
Pay.
just
You just walk up and
recently-
you scan it and it's done.
The new thing that Apple
That's
has
what they
now
did.
is the bump pay. thing.
Exactly. So that makes it even easier. There's no passcode.
Dude, you could go give
you could
somebody
literally
a little,
go to somewhere,
boop, put it in your back
Exactly,
pocket
just
and give them a
boop,
little bump.
Yeah,
Little-
I've seen.
like if you go
little
to a
booty
bar,
bump.
if you go to a bar that has
You
Apple
do that,
Pay,
got your money.
Yeah.
if
got
you
your
go to a
money,
bar
got
that
your
has
money.
Apple Pay, that's what they did. They went
Yeah.
to a bar that accepts Apple Pay. They had my card information. We're just going,
And that's
Boom.
I mean, if you think
Do you buy
about
from
it,
any shady websites that sell Donovan McNabb jerseys that could
Macari.
sell card information?
I mean, probably.
I mean,
But-
That could be it.
I think
There's so many ways in the
I
United
think
States and in
that
the
would
world
be
for
too
them to
easy
do that.
to get caught. Would
You
be
might. But at the same time, you don't have to link your name. You don't have to link anything on your Apple ID. You can make up a fucking fake name and put in a card that you stole from someone, and it's
That's a
never
good
going to
point.
trace back to you.
That's a good point.
yeah.
It's never going to trace back to
Yeah,
you.
it's
You know
if
what's
all
common?
you need is a credit card. Doesn't
That's
matter
it.
who it is. You're right.
the
Every
common
Fucking A,
fucking
you're
year,
right.
dude.
dude, I would say a common denominator between this
Muslims.
conversation and crypto.
Watch yourself.
Easy.
And
Hey, Arab.
easy. Hey, take it easy there.
Take
bud.
it easy.
Take it easy. Take it easy.
Take it easy.
I'm saying the common denominator between all of this, and this is built into our psychology. Every single person on the planet is striving for this. I mean, you can go look at interviews of billionaires. For example, Gary. He had an interview, and the interview guy asked this. He was like, "What's the one thing?"
You on a
that-
first name basis with him now?
I wish, Mr. Vaynerchuk.
That's right. You
Yeah.
show a little respect. to
Mr.
this.
Put a
Vaynerchuk.
little speckle behind his name.
The guy asked him, he was like, "What's the one thing? You have all this money now. You can pay for all these fancy shit. You can do whatever you want, right? What's the one thing that you value the most?" And it even comes down to people that don't have a whole lot of money because it's wired into us. It's convenience. It's simplicity, right? It's the ability
Right.
to do something at a very simple, level that's convenient for both parties to get it out of the way, to get it done with, to do all of it.
Dude, I'm a sucker for that.
And
God damn.
dude, we all are, right? I mean, just like you were talking about Uber Eats, like, dude, I don't have a car right
Mr.
now.
Beast Burger. Beast Burger
Mr.
probably
Beast
fucked
Burger.
me over.
I ain't got a car right now, but fuck, I love a Big Mac.
Right?
And so, I just call
Dude,
up
it's,
Uber
it's,
Eats.
it's, that's a good point. That is prey on
100%.
because
Well, let me finish. On the flip
No.
side of the coin, on the flip side of the coin, on the flip side of the coin is it allows people that are out there that are doing this malicious activity, that are out there to fucking do bad or just make a name for themselves or
Yeah.
whatever. It makes it easier,
sure
right? Because the whole process is done.
makes you
'Cause
walk right into
You
it.
cannot tell me that in the world someone just hacked $3.6 billion from crypto that is like we don't even know what the fuck it really is. I mean, let's be honest
sure it was
here.
I'm pretty
Let's
sure it
be
was a
honest
scam.
here.
Let's just call it what it
let's
is.
Be honest
Let's
here.
call it what
we
it
don't
is.
know what it is, but we're investing in it.
It's a scam.
Tech-
But the
Let's call it
thing
it was a
is,
venture
the
capital.
thing is
Shut
that we don't know what the
Vaynerchuk.
fuck it is, right? But you can't tell me that same guy couldn't hack into Uber Eats, which is probably ran off someone's fucking laptop,
No, it's ran up
and
everyone's phone.
literally,
to see.
literally go into Uber Eats' main fucking database and steal every person on there that's ever entered a fucking card,
Yeah.
and steal all their cards and start taking money
Well,
out.
that's the thing. You have all these
You
companies.
can't tell me they can't do that.
all these
they
companies. You have to assume that
could. You hack
they're-
into crypto, which is very. You don't know what the fuck it is.
Dude, any of these
But they
companies
hack the fucking-
that you
the
give your
firewall
you
into
give your
crypto.
card information to, you have to assume that they're counterintelligence guys. Like they're guys that stop the hackers, are better than the hackers themselves.
They try.
So you have to assume that there's a lot of really good hackers that are good guys out there than there are really good hackers that are bad guys.
There is.
And that is the fight.
Is that the first time that's happened with crypto?
No,
It's
I
the
wouldn't
biggest
say
for
so.
sure, though,
It's-
right?
It's got to be the biggest. I mean, we're talking. I mean, if that's right,
I've seen that
$306
multiple times. $3.6 billion.
billion. I mean, that's a fuckload of money.
And
That's
where
why
did
it
that
makes
come? I
me
mean, do we
think-
know where that came from?
That's what I was about to say. I mean, I think it was a venture capital. So I think it was a bunch of different companies investing into one cause, into like one project that was going to, enable, whatever it may be. It could have been a giant virtual real estate gig. It could have been a metaverse thing. It could have been an NFT collection. It could have been a whole slur of things.
Dude,
but
imagine
I wanna know what it
digital
was.
theft. Imagine Digital Ocean's 11, where they can steal the NFTs.
digital,
Dude, they come in and take the Mona Lisa. Like you have the Mona Lisa NFTs, they just hack it out of your
that's
system.
the thing is like it
That's scary.
makes me curious on what, like, if that was like a whatever the fuck you called it, if that was like a something big, like imagine if like all these people were investing all this money to like cure cancer, and that was what they were funding into, and then all of a sudden it was like, oh, it's gone,
dude.
Because I mean, let's be honest,
Dude, let's
be
talk
honest,
truckers here for a second. And the GoFundMe, that money's gone.
Like, let me
I mean, kind
let me just say, man, like, there's a lot of people, and there's a lot of people in podcasts that have said like there's no way that they haven't figured out how to cure cancer yet.
There's absolutely no way.
There's
no
way
way
more money in treating cancer than there is curing.
Exactly. And
same
that's
with
the fucked up
COVID.
thing.
If you fucking follow the money,
Yeah.
not to get this thing pulled off of YouTube, but if you have half a fucking brain on you, you see that there's more money in government subsidies
Because
to one company that makes a vaccine for the entire world that can make separate individual deals with sovereign nations.
And that's the thing is like,
Bunch of crap, but
even with the
sure it works.
like the vaccine and shit like that, it's like no one's paying money for it, right? But
What do you
we
mean?
also you don't pay money to go get
we
vaccinated.
have bought it for tax money.
I mean, we bought it with tax money, but at the same time, you don't have to go to Walmart and be like, let me pay $50 for my vaccine,
And
please.
who knows
No,
how much
but-
tax money's gone into it.
But
Exactly,
the
you
people
have no
overseas,
idea.
that the Pfizer has a contract with Israel to sell them. Not like so we paid for all this shit, but Pfizer can go to Israel and say, all right, we're going to make a contract for all this shit, sell them as a private company to a sovereign state,
Yeah, because I mean,
and make
Pfizer,
all the profit off of that shit.
Yeah.
Is that
Like-
fucking right?
Pfizer was, they're not just sitting there like, oh, they were waiting for this to happen. Like Pfizer had the information, they knew what was going on, they had
Pfizer
the
was
cure.
waiting for someone that's for a pill or anything, an injection that would have to be mandated for every single American in the United States.
They were
What
waiting
a
for it.
better way to make
So
fucking
therefore,
money.
they didn't do that shit for free. America paid for that because they didn't just send us fucking millions and millions and millions of vaccines that have proven to help with COVID. They didn't just do that shit for free. Pfizer had a big ass fucking paycheck for that shit.
Yeah.
A big one. Now America can't charge for it because like we don't get I don't think you have to charge to get, or I don't think you have to pay to get a flu shot.
No, but
It's just, I mean, it's just like, but those are mandatory, or not mandatory things, but those are like vaccines that they're like, oh, if you want a flu shot, here you go, But at the same time, we had to pay for the shit. Whoever came up with the fucking flu shot, and if they found out that actually worked, that dude made a fucking a stack.
yeah,
Fat
That dude
stack.
made a stack.
Yeah.
The same with polio, right? Like all these crazy things that have happened in the world, and people have had vaccines for them. They're done, right? They're done for the rest of their life. They're good.
you don't
It's
get
like-
things from those vaccines. You don't get whatever. When you take it, you take a polio vaccine, you don't ever fucking get polio.
Yeah.
It's it. It's done.
In COVID, it's like you have to get 2 shots, and then you have to get a booster every
And then
8 months or
and then
whatever.
it prevents.
It just helps.
It
That's all
prevents
it
you from
does.
getting hospitalized, which sounds like a fucking treatment to me, not a fucking vaccine. Anyway,
Yeah.
I think everybody's waking up to that fucking idea. Like,
Finally.
yeah.
Finally.
I got vaccinated. I'm not gonna say I didn't. I did get vaccinated, but at the same time, it's like, am I gonna get the booster? Probably not.
I'm not doing this shit the rest of my life.
No, I'm not either.
Yeah.
I'm gonna take my fucking
fuck
chances,
that.
especially because it's like I'm 105% positive he had COVID. He's not vaccinated.
I am unvaccinated,
Yeah.
and I got COVID 3 weeks ago, and I took a couple naps, and I was fine. Like I was
Yeah.
just tired for
But
a couple days.
that's what as everyone knows, the more and more the virus
Gets weaker.
it gets weaker,
yeah.
right? So now it's like getting towards the weak point where it's like you might be fucked up for a couple. You were not great for like 2 or 3 days.
Yeah.
But at the same time,
Did you
then he
have
was
a cough
fine.
ever?
He was fucked up, dude.
Dude, I mean,
I had no coughs, but I had like chills, and like I was weak, and I would get tired real easy. That was it though.
Fucking like a truck.
I mean, yeah.
Because we were literally playing video games.
Oh, you couldn't do that.
We were literally playing
The night
video games for
before.
4 hours.
yeah, and I was sitting
And then all of a
there.
sudden it hit him. Like
Yeah,
at
like-
the last game that we played, he was
Literally.
like, dude, I don't feel good.
I
And
went
like
into-
everything was
Yeah,
just fucking
no,
fucked
dude.
up.
I that's what happened. It was instant.
Yep.
Like I was at work. I was doing all this stuff in the morning. I went out to eat lunch, and I was like trying to lift my hands up to eat my sandwich, and I was like, ugh.
fatigued. Yeah. That's exactly
And I was
what
like,
got, dude.
something's not right.
Did your
and
back
so,
ever hurt?
It was sore, kind of like tired.
So okay.
Like I'd been like lifting shit all day, but I knew I hadn't.
Yeah.
Like, but that my legs kind of hurt. Like I was muscle sore.
Dude, I like physically felt like I got hit by a train. Like my entire body was, I mean, just fatigued as shit.
Yeah.
I wanted to sit in my bed, lay down. I couldn't do anything. And my back, bro, it was weird. My lower back, it just felt like someone was fucking.
No. Oh, shit, dude. Actually, what set this whole thing up, I thought was a really bad, because I get sciatica all the time.
Okay.
I thought this was a really bad set of sciatica. And I go, dude, I don't know what's going on. I got to sit down for a little bit. And that's when I took lunch. And I was like, because it's like it's like in your ass, like ass to lower back. Like that whole thing, I was like, oh. And I was just kind of floating around. And I was bitching about trying to like stretch and stuff, thinking that would help.
Yeah.
Didn't do shit. And then I went to eat lunch. I was like, all right, something's going on here.
Yeah.
And then after that, nothing else happened. But,
Yeah.
I mean,
it's just like, but
is that
it's
where it's
still
shutting the whole goddamn country down? And
no, but at the same time, it's like, you know, it does affect everyone in different ways. But at the same time, it is still one of those things where it's like now, like that it's developed so many different times. Now it is getting weaker, and we can clearly see that.
Well, and here's the deal too. When it first started, I was so fucking scared. I was so afraid. I was like, "This is what's gonna kill everyone. Like, this is it. This is
the
that.
apocalypse.
This is it. This is the apocalypse. This is gonna happen because we didn't know anything. And the more we learned about it, I was like, oh, maybe it's not that big of a deal. Oh, maybe
The first one was a big deal. I'm not ever gonna take that statement back.
the first
That
one.
first one was fucking destroying this country and other countries.
Yeah, I mean, it
but
was
at
it
the same
was
time
pretty
now
bad.
where they're boof numbers. Yeah,
That's
people
okay.
were dying from cancer, and
But
they were writing it
calling
down as
it
COVID.
COVID.
Yeah, exactly.
People were dying in car accidents. They'd be like COVID.
Right,
It's
'cause the
what
hospital's got
fuck?
50
No,
grand.
Dude, I literally got in a car accident and fucking my head got decapitated, and that's how I'm
Right.
dead, bro. I didn't die from fucking COVID. Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, COVID.
You know, it's like, but that's what they were doing
because the hospitals, the government was paying the hospitals $50,000 per
Yeah.
case. If it was a death, you got $50,000. So
that's fucking insane. Like that is actually insane. But
That-
and at the same time, it's like, you know, when you're a hospital and you have people dying there every single day, every fucking day, and if they're like $50,000, write it down as COVID.
yeah, I
Look,
would
man,
do the exact same fucking.
I would
thing.
do the same shit.
I'm not.
I'd be like, pay me.
Yeah, I'm not saying
I
bad
had
on
100
anybody for
deaths
doing
today.
it. I'm not saying bad on anybody for doing
Yeah,
it.
I'm
'cause
not either.
That's
Like, dude, if that's what they were making, I didn't know that. I didn't
Yeah.
know they were making that much, but I knew something was
Yeah,
going on.
it's
That's
But-
why they say follow the
Because,
money.
you know, I had people tell
when
me.
you follow the money, it doesn't make a goddamn bit of sense. And Fauci, don't even be started on that motherfucker. Dude, what he did to the AIDS pandemic, like what he did to the people with AIDS, so fucked up. He had kids in camps that he was doing. AZT was the message. You ever seen Dallas Buyers Club? That was that Matthew McConaughey movie with the where he was a fucking oil guy and he got AIDS because he was fucking this chick and she had AIDS. Well, he was taking this AZT. AZT was a $20,000 a treatment drug that they were trying to get passed for AIDS. Well, he would take that shit, and it was killing him. So he found like these peptides and these proteins that he'd take, and it cured him. I mean, it didn't cure him, but it treated the whole thing. Well, the FDA came in and fucking took all of his shit. Said, you can't fucking do this anymore because this is the treatment and this is what's going to happen. Fauci was behind all that shit. He had a camp of kids that he was running experiments on. This is all true. It's all, you can watch it on YouTube. It's a BBC documentary on this camp where they would take kids from their parents through the New York laws, which allowed them, because their parents were addicted to crack, so they take their kids who were already AIDS babies, take them, feed them AZT, and when they wouldn't take it, they would cut holes in their stomach and force feed them through tubes. And this was all under Fauci's direct orders because he was the head of the FI, whatever the fuck it is. And then he's doing the same goddamn shit with this vaccine shit.
Surprised he's not dead.
That's why he should be. Honestly, he's a bad fucking dude because that's why he wouldn't let ivermectin or any of these hydroxychloroquine shit go through because they're non-patent drugs. They're free, essentially. They cost pennies to make. Now that all this shit's getting taken off of YouTube, but I mean, like I said, just follow the money. Like, and it all.
It's weird because I don't think it'll get taken off of YouTube, but I do know.
Now
that,
we're
like,
too far in. They're not looking 2 hours into this thing.
Yeah, I was gonna say that like you will get less views. Like
You get Shadow Man. I'm used to
Yeah,
that. I'm
yeah.
used to that. Yeah.
I mean, it's just
The algorithms and shit are so ridiculous. I I did an experiment the other day. I took a video. When you use like Instagram's Reels thing, you can upload videos
Instagram,
you've already
TikToks.
made.
Yeah.
Yeah. You can upload videos through that you've already created and then upload them. Now, if you create them with the app that's already there and you just push record and you make your own, they're like 5 times more likely to get
Shadow.
like
Shadow ban.
no, well, they promote those videos that are
Okay.
created inside the app. So I took the same video and I recorded the screen. Like I took the video and I recorded it and I set up tripods and stuff. And that one got like, 10 times the views that the other one did. So they don't promote. So it's all a fucking
Sham. It's all
yeah,
it
well, I
is.
don't even know that it's a sham. They're just trying to promote their own shit, but it's like,
TikTok.
yeah, it's all a bunch of
Everything is TikTok.
It's
Yeah.
all it's not like you have a great video and it's gonna go viral because you have a great video. It's because there's other forces at work. It really steams me because that's a lot of work.
Yeah.
And it sounds like shit when you got to record it, like, because I'd set a tripod up above my iPad and hit the record button and watch the whole thing go. And it's like, all right, this is a lot of work and it sounds like shit, but it did better. And I was like, this doesn't make a damn bit of sense other than they're just self-promoting.
Yeah. It just sucks because it's like back in the day, just people working their ass off to like come up with these crazy ideas, you know what I mean, to be creative and like push out content. And now it's like all you have to do is just know the right people.
Yeah.
They're going to tell you like
Well,
the right information.
I had
on
a
how to-
scary thought the other day because I was like, it's so easy to make content now.
Yeah.
And there's so many people that are making a lot of money for really not producing anything of value at all to society whatsoever. And at some point, there's going to be a huge labor shift. Like, we still need trash bin. We still need all this shit. But somebody who's funny that can do all this stuff, if there's enough people that are just making videos, and eventually there's going to be a weird shift where we don't have people willing to work to do all this shit because somehow they're still getting paid to to do nothing, essentially.
Yeah.
Because there's no product there. There's no benefit to society
Right.
for 30-second TikTok videos.
Yeah.
And if fucking, 4 out of 10 people are TikTokers, then that's a big fucking problem.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's a huge problem in the labor force,
And a very fucked up solution to that, unfortunately, is AI.
How so? I'm
I mean,
interested.
Well, I mean, just like, you take the movie WALL-E,
Mm-hmm.
right? And like, how all these fucking fat asses are on this giant ship and all these robots are doing everything
That's
for them.
Cocoon you're thinking of. That's the end of Cocoon.
Pretty sure it's the end of WALL-E too, isn't it?
Yeah, probably.
Something-
Remember those old people who are like, we're going to leave our grandkids so we can go live in a... Anyway, go ahead.
I don't know. I just think that, I
So-
mean, it all kind of comes back to the whole convenience thing for me. Like, I think at some point, like, people are just going to start pumping out, like, the whole AI artificial intelligence is going to come to a
Well,
point to where that
Definitely, yeah.
we're
Look
gonna
at
be ruled by
truckers.
it.
Like, truckers could be automated. And then that's a whole industry wiped out.
And now you're seeing self-driving cars and shit
Mm-hmm.
and all this crazy stuff.
AI is a big problem. So if we combine the two, then like what jobs we're gonna have left? Like people have to have jobs. People have to be productive.
It just
You ever been
It's the
unemployed?
scariest thing about
You ever been
what
unemployed
really could go on in the world.
Yeah,
Sucks.
Yeah, it does suck. It's boring as fuck.
and you hate yourself and you want to? It's the worst feeling ever.
Yeah, it's
You have no motivation to do
it's gonna be
anything.
a weird shift. Like it's gonna be.
But at
weird
some
shift.
point, there's not gonna be any money. Like if you can't work to make money, there's no money to spend. So you can't totally automate everything. So
And some
an
things
economy
they'll-
can't work like that.
some things they'll never be able to get away with that. Like restaurants, they're never gonna be
Right.
able to get away with that because they've already tried to get rid of servers.
Right.
They've already tried.
With the kiosks and stuff like that.
So you just
yeah.
literally walk up. Shake Shack does it. And it's probably better for them, but because you don't really need servers there, you don't really need people to work the counter. It's like.
got less people on
But
payroll.
it's less people on payroll, and then you just have people that are back there, getting tickets, and then fucking, you have a food runner or whatever, and that's it, But they've already tried to do that. But the thing is about the restaurant industry, the reason why it'll never work is because when I go into a restaurant, I don't want to order on an iPad.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't. If I'm
Well,
going,
there's certainly a human
when
aspect.
it comes to like McDonald's or Taco Bell or whatever, I don't give a fuck. I could give a
Right.
shit less if I talk to this fucking person at the counter.
Well,
so I will.
yeah.
I mean, that's why McDonald's has those
Well,
fucking
there's
things
a
right
human
now.
experience. It's part of that.
But
that
when
makes it
when you're going
fun
to
to go to.
spend decent money at a restaurant, the last thing I want is to order it on an iPad. I want a server to come out and I want them to take care of me, and I want to talk to them. I want to enjoy my experience while I'm there.
Yeah.
yeah.
It can never work in a restaurant
I
because
would agree with
the
that,
government can't come in and be like, look, I know you own this place, but we're going to come in here. We're going to put robots in your fucking kitchen and all your employees are fired.
Yeah, I
It's
mean,
never going to work. The government
Yeah.
literally cannot do that, I don't think.
no.
So it's like, I wouldn't
put
be
it
surprised.
past
I wouldn't be surprised. But
I mean,
at the
they'll
same
tell you
time,
to do a lot
it's
of
like,
shit, but
It'll never work. But there is some things in the world, you know, like you said, like with, you know, cars that can drive themselves now.
yeah. I think it would more
Do you
likely
think they couldn't
be,
do that with a fucking trash truck?
Oh, I'm sure
Because they
yeah,
could.
Yeah.
Well, then you got no trash people, but at the same time, thank God your
But-
trash is at least getting taken out.
Yeah, but then the people getting their trash taken don't have money to pay because they're not working, so they don't have money to pay you to take their trash out. So,
Yeah.
so the economy can't work totally AI. I mean, but you know, in a situation like we're in now, when you're looking for employees and there's nobody willing to work, you're going to be in a situation where you need to look for alternatives, and that means looking at AI and these robot servers you don't want, but nobody else is willing to work. And so you're left with no other option because you still have customers coming in.
Yeah.
And so that's more likely than the government coming in and telling you need robots. It's going to be more like, well, shit, we don't have a labor force. Like nobody's willing to work because everybody's TikToking and making money somehow. So now I have to find a way to do this.
You know what would
And-
basically happen if, like, they made things that, like, you know, trash trucks that could just, you know, go
Drive
by
themselves and
do their own
little
shit.
Jetsons.
You know what would basically happen
What's that?
is being a mechanic would be like a necessity in the United States.
Dude, being a mechanic would
Because
you'd
that
have
is
to
the
have an
only-
MIT degree to work on a lot
Yeah,
of this
exactly.
shit.
So it's like, I mean, you also fuck people there.
Yeah, dude,
Because
I think
if that came to a point where everything could just do things through
Mm-hmm.
like robots, quote unquote,
well, look at
the only
look at,
people that could, you know, actually have a job is the people that can work on those fucking things.
right. Look at buying a new car. Like you can't work on a new car
No.
because it's too electronic. You know, it's not the way it used to be. So it's only going to continue to get worse in that direction. I'm sure of it.
Not in our lifetime.
Yeah, but fuck everybody else.
Like, I mean-
yeah, we'll be fine.
But that's the thing is, like, I was telling him, like, my uncle's a teacher, and he's like, dude, if you really go down and you look at what the United States is coming to, he said, in the next, he said, it won't be in my lifetime or like my lifetime. He said, but, you know, California, Louisiana, and Florida will no longer be a part of the United States.
Like
He said-
seed.
Like, it will literally just
like geographically,
like
it'll
it'll be gone. And the reason why is because of what's going on underneath the sea and
Oh,
everything
sea
like
levels
that.
and
It's
shit,
like, dude,
yeah.
all that shit will literally like go under,
Mm-hmm.
and it will break off the United States, and it will literally basically drown, pretty much.
Wow.
And he said because that's just what's happening. It's happening every year. You know, the sea levels are going up.
Sure.
You know,
yeah,
things like
yeah.
every single year.
Rogan's got a great
So it's
episode right
like-
now with a guy about a lot of that stuff.
Dude, I was gonna say
My
there's
uncle
a,
is positive.
there's
he's
a
like-
documentary on Netflix. It's called Seaspiracy. Have you guys seen that?
No,
before?
I like the title though.
Dude, I highly recommend you watch it.
Yeah?
Because like, I mean, just crazy fact right off the bat is that 85% of our oxygen supply comes from phytoplankton in the ocean.
Oh yeah, I've heard
Right?
that. Yeah,
And the only reason why these phytoplankton can produce the levels of oxygen they do is
is the amount of
because-
carbon we put in the air.
well, it's yes, and it's also the amount of fish in the sea that are literally shitting and they eat their
Oh,
feces, and that's how they consume it and then they produce oxygen, right?
Gotcha. Okay.
85% of the total oxygen supply on the planet comes from the ocean, right? And then all the rest of the trees, all the land that you can think of, that's the other 15%. So if we, and I mean, it goes into a whole lot of fucking other shit,
Sure.
just about like commercial fishing and about like bycatch and about all sorts of shit. But like at the rate that we are going, like, 50 years from now, the world is going to look a lot different.
Did you know
I mean,
that
it's gonna be crazy.
And
the-
that's our fault.
Yeah, it's absolutely
100%.
our fault.
Well,
Because there's other countries.
what are you gonna do about it?
There's
Yeah.
other countries, because the thing is like, I was talking to you about
Switzerland.
yeah, Switzerland and Norway and all those places. Those places are some of those places will be around way longer than the United States will ever be. They'll be around for hundreds of more years past what the United States will be. And the reason why is because, number one, they enforce laws a lot harder. And especially with stuff that can harm their sea levels, or it can harm their oceans, or harm their fucking, just their nature. So I think it was in Norway. If you get caught littering, it's $500. And they enforce the shit.
Right,
and it's not like you're going to court. No, you're paying the shit, and that's all
On
there
the
is to
spot,
it.
yeah.
Or you're going to jail, probably.
Because I'm sorry, if
It's pretty
I get
fucked if
caught,
you're just throwing.
if I get caught throwing a cup out of the window and I have to pay $500 fucking dollars, I'm never doing it again.
Right. Yeah, you learn your lesson.
I'm never doing it again. But that's their mindset, and that's why they are smarter than the United States. Because I could throw a fucking drink out right in front of a cop, and he's just going to keep driving.
Right.
They're not going to enforce shit.
Yeah.
And at the same time, people all the time look at like PBC. Look at all these places down in Florida where that's the thing to do, is go down there and party, drink on the fucking beach, and do all these things.
Shit.
And then you just throw your bottle on the ground and you don't give a fuck.
Well, that's why
that's
you have-
horrible.
That's
for the
pretty shitty.
Exactly.
Oh,
But
yeah.
they don't care.
Yeah, I mean that's
They don't give a fuck.
Right.
Dude, and that's why the great
California is the same way. All these places are the exact
yeah.
fucking same.
dude, there's a fucking it's called the Great Pacific Garbage Patch.
Oh yeah.
And it's
wild.
It's wild. It's like 2.1 million like acres worth of ocean that is filled with plastic.
It just happened to
Not
ramp
to
up there.
yeah, it's just all fucking merged in there. I mean that'll take tens of years, decades to clear, right? Not to mention that our entire ocean, pretty much no matter where you go, it has a very high percentage of like microplastics within it. So the fish that we are cooking in the restaurant and that every other people that are eating, we're eating plastic. Like, I mean, we're eating plastic because the fish are consuming it. They're breathing it. You know what I mean? They're eating other fish that have been doing the same thing. Like it's all spiraling downhill. And if if the United States, if there it is. I mean, that is just fucking horrible.
Yeah.
300-mile swim through the Great Pacific Garbage Patch. I mean, it's
Funny though, just like
That's
piles
the thing
up
is like
there.
that's
yeah, isn't that
is
weird?
that like in like the United States?
Oh yeah, I mean that's definitely like
How
nearby,
the fuck do we let that happen?
bro.
How do you
It's laziness.
how do you
It's
let that
convenience.
happen?
Convenience,
But
arrogance.
that just
I mean,
proves that like the United States is fucking lazy,
it's
dude.
horrible. Like
It is lazy as fuck.
our way of living is literally the complete opposite.
We're saying
of
like, bro,
sustainable.
we're saying like, there's no jobs, there's no this and that. Go clean that shit up.
Yeah,
Go clean that up.
but dude,
Right?
There's
it's
that
sad.
one like
I mean,
there's that
fuck.
kid I forget his name, but he's probably 20 or something now, but he had developed a plastic catching thing that went in the ocean. He takes these he'll take all the shit he gets from the plastic recycling from that patch, and he makes sunglasses out of them. He recycles and makes sunglasses and sells them to continue the thing, and it's super fucking effective.
That's awesome.
Yeah, and he's a young kid. He came with this idea, and then some people put money into it, and they figured it out.
Yeah.
Like,
It's like
It's so sad because like even if we talk about this and we want to take initiative and like try to be environment friendly and not litter at all, not use anything that's like made of plastic, whatever. That's what the documentary is about. It's about this guy that it starts off about whales and dolphins, about how in the news all these dolphins are being killed, all these whales are being killed, and he's devastated because all his life he's been obsessed with the ocean. It's what he's been surrounded by, right? And he goes on this long journey on literally just like the next step, like what can I do better, like what can I improve on to help spread the word, help maintain my own lifestyle and do all this. And I'm telling you guys, you got to watch this documentary because it'll change the way. Seaspiracy. So yeah, it's just the word conspiracy but minus con, replace it with SEA. Yeah, and it's life changing, man. It's life changing. It really is. And like,
well, plastics in general are really bad. I mean, they affect our fertility. Like the paraben, is it parabens? I think it's whatever it is in there. When you heat up fucking food in a microwave, like in a Tupperware or something with plastic, those parabens come into your food, and you eat that shit, and it makes you infertile. Like it's drastically affecting the birth rates in the United States. It's also shrinking taints. I know that sounds weird,
Shrinking
but
tates.
yeah. So everybody knows what tain is. They've been shrinking over the years since plastics were invented. They've been shrinking significantly, which has an adverse effect against fertility. All of it from parabens from plastic.
Yeah.
Plastic is no fucking, and again too, it's also oil. All it is it's an oil byproduct, and we use that to. I mean, it's all fossil fuels, so
Convenience.
it's convenience. Yeah.
I mean, it's the devil's advocate, man.
You have to make your own pot and out of clay and shit like that, or you just go to the store and you buy a big pack of them for $5.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What are you gonna do? And that'll always be the enemy of it. Is convenient. I mean, I'd love to say I could have the discipline to change all that shit, but it's like, I just need this real quick.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's as simple as that. You just need it really fast.
That's the thing is like, I feel like like other countries that are like way better off than the United States, they have figured that stuff out.
Yeah.
And I feel like if you live there, you'd be like, oh, this actually really isn't that hard. But since we live here and everything is about convenience,
yeah,
you're never going to change.
Well, and again, I think it's this latest episode of Rogan. He had this guy on talking about climate change, and he's very clear about human impact on climate. And he's like, yeah, it's definitely happening. I think it's alarmist, but the problem is the United States is only 13% of the world's pollution as far as air pollution and stuff like that.
Really?
The main part is developing nations. We are rich enough to where we have the luxury of going back and being like, all right, we're going to use nuclear power now because it's less, or we're going to use solar power because it's less. We have that luxury. The biggest polluter in the world is people that burn wood. There's so many wood-burning tribes and homes across the world. That goes in the air. That is way more pollutive than a lot of the shit we're doing. And then, there's when you develop, you need energy. And the most readily available energy is coal. So you're going to have a coal-burning plant. So until we solve this, we can go and we can make these accords and say, hey, you're going to have to do clean energy now. It's like, okay, well, we can't really afford that because we're fucking eating garbage and we just need electricity that's somewhat reliable.
Yeah. And
you're going to come in there and tell them that they need to have this super expensive thing because we're worried about the world. They don't give a shit about the world. They give a shit about the next day.
Bro, so I used to work for a solar company for over a year, and I went door to door, and I knocked on over 15,000 doors trying to sell solar systems, right? And the one thing that I learned is that to actually make solar panels, it's not hard. It doesn't take a lot of money, right? But it's the fact that these companies have monopolized it and they're, just making money. It's just the capitalistic mindset behind all these companies and just making as much fucking money as they possibly can. That's the only reason why utility companies exist in the first place is because they found out a very, very regulated system they could spread out like amongst a huge amount of land, the whole United States, and to power all these homes when in reality, you could take silicon, you can take fucking glass, sand, and I mean, a little bit other of things and make a solar panel that's literally going to last you 25, 30, 35 years from a source that's never going away.
Isn't there a part, there's a conflict mineral in the solar panels? Or is that may be bad? I think it's lithium particularly for batteries, which you need for solar panels to work.
For a backup battery system.
Correct.
So so you have two different types of systems. You have a grid tied and you have an off grid. An off grid's going to be a lot more expensive because you need that storage to store all that energy, right? And that's where you have companies like Tesla making the Tesla Powerwall.
Sure.
You have like Samsung making these giant ass like battery backups or whatnot. And yes, like that would be a lot more advantageous towards the environment, but it's going to cost you a lot more money because of the fact that where that product is, whose hands it in. You know what I mean? And that's what it comes down to. Like,
so let me ask you this, because I've always considered solar panels, because if you don't have the batteries to store it, essentially you're selling the energy back to the grid.
Yes.
So you're not actually using power, you're just offsetting your bill. You're just sending that energy back into the grid. So they're leasing your house essentially and your roof space for energy, and then they send it back. You're not actually, your house is still run off the same electrical grid as it was before. You're just using that energy and selling it back.
Offsetting your bill.
Correct.
And you are producing, that solar energy, and that's why some people get like a negative utility bill, so they get money back. but for the most part, you will sell your energy back at like a 1-for-1 exchange rate, most commonly
Right.
back to the grid. And because, I mean, the sun's out, depending on where you live here. I mean, it's out, 8 or 9 hours a day. I mean, you're fucking, I mean, based on what panels you have on the roof, you could be pumping 200, 300 kilowatts an hour. I mean, that'll power a lot. But if you don't have that storage, if you have a place to keep it, you got to send it back to the grid. You know what I mean?
Right.
So how does solar work if like it is if the sun doesn't come out for like 3 or 4 days?
Well, so essentially, I mean, the only reason why the sun wouldn't come out for a couple days is if like you're way north, like close to the North Pole, like in places like Iceland or northern Canada or like Greenland or something like that, which they use solar there too. But they have, you know, the backup batteries where every ounce of energy that they're collecting, they store it to where, and they're also very conscious of how much energy they're using. You know what I mean? They're not Americans. They're not charging their iPhones. They're not fucking using their microwave. They don't have 8 lamps on. They don't have LED lights on all night, you know, creating cool colors and shit. They're a lot more like aware of what's going on.
Sure.
But, and you know, to answer your question, it's that they're mostly off grid. And so they've got their own, they're producing their own
So
energy.
if you have solar, you don't really have to like, in reality, if you live in the United States, you would never have to, like, especially like in Missouri. So if I put solar on my house, I would never have to worry about like being hot or like being cold.
No.
Because that's like, I mean, that'd be the only thing that like worried me. Like
not
if
having
it was like during like winter time
Well,
and the sun didn't come out for 3 or 4 days and I'm fucking freezing my
But
dick off
and
inside
this is what
'cause
we
I
were
have
getting to
solar.
earlier is that you're still using energy off the grid. So unless you have a backup battery that can run your furnace, if you don't have that, then you're sending that energy that you're collecting. You're not using any of it. They're just using your roof space and your solar panels to go back into the power lines and go back so they can sell it to other people. So unless you have a battery backup that's collecting and conserving all of that energy to run your stuff, then you're not really running a solar house. Like you're not really off the grid. In fact, is you're probably more entwined in the grid than you were before.
Yeah. But you are, I mean, minus the fact that you're probably leasing the solar system from who, you know, X company.
Right.
You're paying less every month. And that's like the selling point, right? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's the selling point. You know, I knock on the door, you know, hey guys, I'm out in the area. I don't know if you knew this or not, but like your neighbors are paying $30-$40 less for energy than you are. Were you aware of that? No, I wasn't aware of that. I was like, oh, okay, well, that's kind of why I'm here. Would you like to hear about it? Yeah, sure. Boom, right into the pitch. You know what I mean? And so that's kind of where it is. Like you're leasing that energy. If you're grid tied, you're not really using that per se. You're just getting it at like a cheaper rate because of the fact you have their solar system. You know what I mean? And they're also, depending on the utility company, they have a tax credit, right? And the utility company, the state. I mean, for example, like South Carolina, federally right now, I believe there's I don't know, remember what it's called, but it's like the tax rate for renewable energy. It's like 26% that you could write off at the end of the year
Of the total cost
of the total cost of the system, right? But in South Carolina, there's also a state tax that's also 26%. So, I mean, if you're living in South Carolina, you're getting 52% off the entire system written off just to go solar. Like, why wouldn't you do that? You know what I mean? But there's also disadvantages to it. I mean, because of the fact that, you know, these solar companies have learned how to sell it at a very expensive, you know, price. And that's kind of the market now. And it's like you have to succumb to it if you really care about the environment.
So they get any percentage back off the lease? Like,
What's up?
like when because they're leasing it essentially, you know, you're leasing it from the company. Are they getting a kickback off of the energy grid?
I mean, that's kind of where it gets a little advanced, right? Because like it's all tax tied. It's all
So all the credits are tax credits.
it's all subsidies, right? It's all
But when you sell back to the company, they're not getting any kickbacks because it's their equipment.
they can. It's just it's based on really how much you know about tax law. Because dude, I mean, my old boss, I mean, I won't say his name. He's a great guy. I don't want to say his name, but I mean, he easily. I mean, I'm young. I don't know everybody. I've got a lot to learn, but I mean, just from the people that he, you know, met me with, and you know what he talked about with me, and kind of showed me how things worked. I mean, that man was as sharp as a tack. Like he knew. I mean, he spent a lot of time in his life researching, I mean, all of that shit. So he knew every nook and cranny and every loophole that he possibly could.
Wow.
With writing up like the terms of the deals going into all these. Like he maximized, the returns of the company.
I
but also-
imagine there's a lot of loose ends there that you could suckle off of.
Yeah. But what I will say is that, I took pride in working for the company that I did work for just because of the fact that, we were very transparent about what we were doing with the homeowner.
Well, that's nice.
Because solar has a very negative connotation in the homeowner,
Sure.
because a lot of people have been fucked over by it. And it's because you did business with the wrong people. I mean, it's simply put, you did business with the wrong people. And you just didn't know what you were getting into. And that's kind of why I was there for so long, even though I was knocking fucking doors.
Right.
It sucked. I mean, I liked it at the same time. I don't regret it, but at the same time, it kind of
Sure.
sucked. But I like that. I can take away from that. I was very transparent with the homeowners. I told them everything I possibly could about what I knew and to help them understand on why this was a better option than just utilizing a finite resource, because coal's going to run out. Oil's going to run out. I mean, it's going
Right.
to, right?
Clearly, yeah.
Yeah.
It takes millions of years to make. So.
Yeah. So,
Well, that's interesting. That's the most I've ever learned about solar right there.
Yeah.
A lot of shit, dude. We're 2.5 hours in.
yeah, I was about to say, dude, we've been in this
Yeah.
bitch
Yeah.
for a long time.
Let's call her there, man. I'm
Yeah,
whooped.
good.
That was a good one.
That was good, man.
Thanks for
That's our
having me on.
longest one. Yeah, yeah.
Absolutely.
Anytime. Come back. That's fun.
Appreciate
Yes,
it.
sir.
So,
Appreciate it.
We'll see you
See you guys
next
next
week.
week.
Next
Oh, yeah.
week.
We got that chili cook-off coming up this week. We got to talk.
Fuck
I got.
me.
I know. I know it's this week. I got some stuff for you.
What does that mean?
Like just paperwork I don't understand.
Okay.
So you'll know more about it than I will. But anyway, chili cook-off this week. Come see us.
General media.
It's your
Mostly
media.
facts.
Mostly
General
facts.
media.
All of it.
Or be out.
Later.
Peace out.
Apex to play.